Big O Tires of Evanston presents Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ 98.3 FM and watching online at kadqradio.com. Today's game is brought to you by these Rebel supporting businesses and individuals. Cowboy Motor Company, save a horse, buy from Cowboy. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Castle Rock Chevrolet, we are Chevrolet. Wyoming Dental Specialists and Rocky Mountain Care, simply the best care. Pregame Coaches Show is brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company, Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. Kickoffs are brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. First Downs today brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental, Dr. Sean Grohl. Turnover sponsor is the station in Randolph, and our scoreboard sponsor, You Win a Title. Now it's time for a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel Football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at kadqradio.com.
Good evening and welcome to the Rebel pregame show here at Kanab High School and Arlen Hafen Stadium, the home of the Cowboys. Ryan Steinekert here and bringing you all the action of today's Rich High Rebels game, taking on the Kanab Cowboys. Kickoff is scheduled for about 30 minutes from now, and in the meantime, we've got our pregame show coming up. Stay tuned. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3 and watch the game online live at kadqradio.com.
Long lines and slow traffic, gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Well, taking a look at today's matchup, it's the Rich Rebels against the Kanab Cowboys, and coming in, Rich Rebels are 4-1 and tied for first place in the 1A North region. Kanab is 3-3 overall and tied for first place in the 1A South region. Kanab, Monticello, and Diamond Ranch Academy all 2-0 in the 1A South. In the 1A North, it's Altamont, Rich, and Duchesne all 1-0. And this is a non-region game, but still an important classification game. And one the Rebels, they're on a 3-game winning streak. They'd like to keep that winning streak going. As for Kanab, it's kind of a similar situation. It's a game that, in the region doesn't mean all that much. Actually, it means nothing in the region standings, but they're looking to get back on the winning track. Kanab is coming off a loss last week to Duchesne. They gave Duchesne a pretty good game. 34-21 was the final as Duchesne got the better of Kanab. But that shows what kind of a team Kanab is coming in. It's their first year back down in the 1A ranks, the 1A classifications after being in 2A for the last several years. And these two teams have not met each other for a few years. It's been since 2008 since these teams met, and Kanab won that matchup 32-28. In fact, the previous years, in 2007, Kanab beat Rich 35-14 in the state title game. In the state semifinals of 2006, Kanab got the win there as well. So that's looking back over the last 8-10 years, it's Kanab that's gotten the win in 5 games of the 5 times these two teams have met. So that's where we're at here tonight. It's a night game. It might take the Rich Rebels a little bit of time to get used to playing under the lights tonight, as this is their first night game of the season. So we'll see how things work out. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3. We're down here in Cowboy Country in the Red Rock. It's a beautiful setting. Sun is setting at our backs. The field is we're sitting on the west side of the field looking east, and the stands are starting to fill up. A lot of Rebels fans across the way and a lot of Cowboy fans. It's homecoming night for the Cowboys, so it's a big one for Kanab. Well, stay tuned. We got more of our pregame coming up. Coming up in just a bit, we'll check with students and community members about their predictions for today's game. So stay tuned. They're right here to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel Sports on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at kadqradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Hunters, you could win a $3,000 gift certificate to Sports World by winning first place in the Big Buck Contest. Sports World certificates for second and third place, too. Stop by Castle Rock Chevrolet for details. Before you head to the hills, have Castle Rock change your oil and give your vehicle a multi-point inspection. And when you're hunting for a new car or truck, then stock the lot at Castle Rock.
We're Castle Rock.
A $3,000 prize for first place, the Big Buck Contest at Castle Rock Chevrolet. CastleRockChevy.com.
Welcome back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQRadio.com. And we spent some time in Rich County and at the Rich schools this last week talking with Rich fans about their predictions for today's game. On this segment of the pregame show, we'll hear the fans give their Rebel game day predictions. These predictions are brought to you by Bear Lake Realty in Garden City. Gary McKee. We'll be back with those predictions in just a moment. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM and watch the game online at KADQRadio.com.
Come see why the Bear Lake Valley has become one of the hottest real estate markets in Utah. The Reserve, Bear Lake's finest resort, is a masterfully planned recreation community nestled in the beautiful Bear Lake Valley. Luxurious mountain getaways overlooking the turquoise waters of Bear Lake. With lowering interest rates, it's a great time to buy. To find out how to make the Bear Lake Valley your next home or vacation getaway, contact BearLakeRealty.com. That's BearLakeRealty.com.
This is Monica at Stacy's Repair, and I think Rich can win with the motivation they have from homecoming week.
This is Brent with Stacy's Repair. I think Rich has a good chance as long as they can control their turnovers.
This is David at Stacy's Repair. I believe Rich has a great chance to win as long as they continue to play as well as they have been.
I'm Jamie Dice. I think we're going to beat Kanab at Kanab, and I think it's going to be like 21-7. I think we'll do pretty good.
Ty Peterson, I think we're going to beat Kanab at Kanab. It's going to be 21-14.
Charles Myers, I think that we're going to beat Kanab, probably 21-14.
Charles Myers for over 100 yards.
I know we're going to have to stop the pass because our defense is geared towards the running game, so we'll see how that goes.
Rylan Franson, I think we're going to win. It'll probably be 21-14. It'll be a pretty good game. It'll be pretty close.
Michaela Silva, 7-14. Rich is going to win. Rich and Kanab are going to be neck and neck the whole game.
Marcus Herrera, we're going to win 21-7.
Wyatt Muirbrook. I think we're going to win 20-13.
Emily Hopkin Rich by 7 points.
Christina Peterson Rich.
Rachel Meek Rich and by 14 points.
Lily Brown Rich by 6 points.
Zoe Rich by 7 points.
My name's Erin, and I think Rich is going to win at Kanab.
My name's Ty, and Rich is going to win.
The person with the most points wins. Who do I think will win? Rich is going to win by 3 points.
Well, the fans have spoken. Our game day predictions today have been brought to you by Bear Lake Realty in Garden City. Gary McKee. Coming up, we're going to talk with a Rebel alum to see what's been happening since graduation. We'll be back with Where Are They Now here on the pregame show in just a bit. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM and watch the game online at KADQRadio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth and want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is oral surgeon A.J. Stosich inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Throughout our lives, there are times we may need skilled rehabilitation and nursing care or home health and hospice care. Rocky Mountain Care has been providing these services since 1990. Our skilled staff and specialized programs will meet your loved one's needs. Our staff is dedicated to a high-quality outcome for each of our patients and residents. When you or someone you love needs these professional services, think of Rocky Mountain Care. Simply the best care. www.rmcare.com. Welcome back to the pregame show here at KADQ-FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com. Today, the Rebels are taking on the Kanab Cowboys down here in Kanab, and we're about 23 minutes away from our opening kickoff. In the meantime, in this segment of the pregame show, we're going to catch up with Rebel alum Nate Pugmire. Nate graduated from Rich High School in 1994. This portion of the pregame show is called Where Are They Now? Joining me now for Where Are They Now is Nate Pugmire. Thanks for your time today, Nate.
Thank you.
So, Nate, tell me about your high school career. What did you do when you were at Rich High School?
Well, I think to play a little football, a little basketball. That was the main thing. I guess those were the main two sports. A little track right at the end there when we had the program. When I was in high school, I played tight end and linebacker on the football team, and then played center, power forward on the basketball team.
What year did you graduate, Nate?
Graduated 94, almost nearly 20 years now. I can't hardly believe that.
Don't put it that way. It makes me feel older.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good.
No. Let's say we were just already, some of us are working on our 20-year reunion next year, and that's kind of a hard pill to swallow.
Well, tell me a little bit more detail. Do you remember how the football team and the basketball team did those years that you were playing?
We got to play in a couple of state championship games my sophomore and junior year, and those were obviously good memories. Got to go down to the University of Utah and play there that's back when they had the AstroTurf, and we thought we were pretty big time at that point in time in our lives. It was definitely a lot of fun and a good experience, and we lost both of those games, so it never quite turned out how we wanted to, but just a great experience being able to play that.
And how about in basketball? How was the team that time?
We never played for state. We were a pretty good team. I think we competed very well, but then we just never had any luck at state.
And were you involved with any other activities or clubs or anything like that?
Actually did school musicals and got involved with that a little bit. My uncle, he was the director, so I don't know if he roped me into it or not, but no, those were fun experiences as well.
What shows did you do?
We did a show called Into the Woods, and then we did 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, and I think what else? We did Grease.
So Into the Woods, were you like a Pinocchio or somebody?
I think I was Rapunzel's prince. I remember we wore the tights and everything else, so that was kind of funny. The
tights. Do you still? I guess you probably don't have the tights. It was probably part of the school costume, huh?
No, I think we rented those, so I was glad to get rid of them as soon as possible.
I bet. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Anything else you were involved with in high school?
That was the bulk of it. When we did track, got to run relays, and we did the 100-meter dash, and so just another good experience going down to state at BYU and spending time obviously with my friends at that time.
And what have you done since you graduated in '94?
I got the opportunity to go on and play basketball. I got a scholarship to go play at Utah Valley State College, now UVU. Played there for 2 years, and then got a scholarship to go to Southern Utah University and played there my final 2 years.
So you were at SUU, what, about 98, 99?
Yeah, 98 to 2000. So right the year after I graduated, of course, it seems like the same with high school. I left and they won state, and I left SUU and they won the tournament, went on to play in the field of 64. So I don't know if that was a trend, a bad trend that I shouldn't say, but
they were better the year after you left.
Yeah, it seems like they got better after I left. So that might be something I should have thought about there.
That year that SUU made it to the NCAA tournament, that was my first semester at SUU. So that's
I just played Boston College. That was my team.
Yeah.
All my guys playing there. So 3 of us graduated the year before.
Oh, the Jeff Monaco and Buse.
Fred House. Yeah, Fred House and all those guys. BJ Chandler.
Yeah.
That was my squad.
Well, that's too bad. You just missed out on that, I guess, huh?
Yeah, we got to play in the conference championship the year before. We played Valparaiso, and I believe we ended up losing them less than 10 points. It was about 7 points, and so that was a heartbreaker. But, again, it was a fun experience.
What else can you tell me? It sounds like you started a family. What can you tell me about your family?
Yep, I've got a beautiful wife that I met from Brigham City, Miss Jamie Hershey, and I have 4 boys. We started out with twins, which are now, they're 8 years old. I've got a 4-year-old. He'll be 5 at the end of the month, and then a 2-year-old. So they're all boys, so I've got a handful of boys. Almost got my complete basketball team.
I was going to say, one more boy, you'll have a starting 5.
Yeah, but I think we're good, though. If I have any say in it.
And how about professionally? What are you doing?
Right now I am a manager here at Sam's Club in Logan. So doing the retail thing. I don't know if that's necessarily what I set out to do, but it's just kind of worked and worked out okay for me.
Anything else that you'd like to bring up or talk about, special memories from growing up in Randolph in Rich County?
I think some of the most special takeaway memories for me was obviously just the chemistry and bonds that you develop with your teammates, and that's something that you carry throughout life. You know, it's small point of time that those years of athletics in high school were. Those are always memories that you reflect upon and always get to talk about with your friends when you catch up.
Well, Nate, it's been great to get to know you a little bit, and I thank you for your time today.
Yep, I appreciate it.
A big thank you to Nate Pugmire for joining us here on Where Are They Now today. Next up, we'll visit with the coaches of today's teams on the Ashley Brown Pregame Coaches Show, sponsored by the Mound Valley Cattle Company, Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. You're listening to the Rebel Pregame Show and a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy Way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile. Revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing. All the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
You're listening to Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3. This is Rebels coach Ashley Brown on the Pregame Coaches Show, and we're just 20 minutes away from kickoff here on KADQ.
Welcome to the Coach Ashley Brown Pregame Show, brought to you by the Mound Valley Cattle Company, Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. No one sees the game the way the coaches do, so we'll take a few minutes to visit with opposing coach Bucky Orton of the Kanab Cowboys, and then we'll talk with Rebel head coach Ashley Brown and get his thoughts on today's game. We'll be right back after this from Mound Valley Cattle Company. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
A well-rounded education is one of the keys to success in life. Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company, are cheering for all the students at Rich High School this year. When it comes to buying or selling cattle, the experts at Mound Valley Cattle Company will get it done. Serving Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming, Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho. Call 208-339-0614. That's 208-339-0614.
I'm here with Kanab Cowboys head coach Bucky Orton. And, Coach, thanks for joining me this afternoon.
No problem.
So tell me a little bit about your team. What do you have coming back from last year? What kind of experience do you have on your team this year?
Well, we're inexperienced for the most part. We've got a couple kids that are coming back that have got a little experience on the offensive line. We're inexperienced in most of our skill positions, with the exception of probably Hayden Jones. He's a senior captain that plays wide receiver for us. And he was a big part of our team last year, but we're with a new quarterback and a few other places there that we have some holes that we need to fill in.
Now, I know talking with some of the folks out at Rich County, they feel like your quarterback is one of your strengths. Has he stepped right into the starting role?
Yeah, he did. You know, he never played any quarterback up until this year, and we had our two quarterbacks from last season both moved, which was kind of a great way to start the season. So we asked Merrill if he'd step in and take that role, and he's just gotten better each and every week. I've really been impressed with his progress and his leadership, and he's done a really good job solidifying the quarterback position.
You guys, looking up and down your wins, you're scoring a lot of points. It looks like your offense is working pretty well when it's working.
Yeah, you know, we've had some success. It seems to me like it's 1 week we look really well on offense, but our defense doesn't come together, and then the next week, you know, our defense might perform pretty well, and our offense seems to struggle. So we're just kind of hoping that sooner or later we can figure out a way to put it all together and play 4 quarters of a full, you know, a complete game on offense, defense, and special teams.
Has it been a big change for you, for the program? You just dropped back down to 1A this year, correct?
Yeah, it's not been that big of a change. It is in the sense that, you know, some of the competition in 1A is maybe not quite as good as it is in 2A. And that's kind of been something that our kids, I don't think, and coaches have liked as much overall. But the advantages of 2A is each week you have to prepare hard. Kids, coaches, everyone had to prepare hard. And, you know, so the challenge this year has been making sure that we do the same at the 1A schedule. But the good thing about the 1A schedule that I like is I feel like that's where our kids belong, numbers-wise. And there's some great teams in 1A. I mean, there just are some great teams that could hold their own, if not win, a lot of games at the 2A level.
Speaking of one of those great teams, you faced Duchesne last week. Can you tell me about that game?
Yeah, you know, it was a good game. It was good for us from our point of view. You know, we don't believe in moral victories in Kanab. I'm sure most good programs don't believe in moral victories, but you know, we liked how we stacked up. We felt like we made too many mistakes to win the game. And they executed at a higher level than we did. But, you know what we need to work on moving forward, and we'll get a chance against Rich this week. Obviously, they're a great team that has as strong a tradition in football as any team in the state. So, you know, the end of our season doesn't get any easier. It just gets tougher as we go. So we're looking forward to making adjustments from last week and moving forward.
It's been a while since you've faced Rich. How long have you been coaching? Have you played Rich since you've been at Kanab?
Yes, yeah. I think we've played Rich about 5 times since I've been coaching here at Kanab. I've been the coach for, this is my 11th year here at Kanab. And every game we've ever played with Rich has gone right down to the wire. So they're a great program. I got a ton of respect for Coach Brown and his staff and what they do and Rich, and I would expect nothing more than just a great game.
What are your keys to getting a victory over Rich?
Well, our defense has to step up first and foremost. We got to get some timely stops on defense. We got to play a clean game on special teams. We don't necessarily have to win, but we got to play a clean game on special teams. And then we got to take care of the football. We haven't done a good enough job doing that yet to win these big games like a Kanab Ridge type of game. So that's kind of the keys: is timely stops on defense, clean game on special teams, and take care of the ball on offense.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks again for joining me, and good luck in the game.
Okay, thank you.
Well, a big thank you to Kanab Cowboy head coach Bucky Orton for that interview. We're about 15 minutes away from kickoff and tonight's action. You're listening to the Coach Ashley Brown Pregame Coaches Show, brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company here on the Pregame Show. Stay tuned. We'll visit with head coach Ashley Brown right after this. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
Hunters, you could win a $3,000 gift certificate to Sports World by winning first place in the Big Buck Contest. Sports World certificates for second and third place, too. Stop by Castle Rock Chevrolet for details. Before you head to the hills, have Castle Rock change your oil and give your vehicle a multi-point inspection. And when you're hunting for a new car or truck, then stock the lot at Castle Rock. We're Castle Rock. A $3,000 prize for first place, the Big Buck Contest at Castle Rock Chevrolet. CastleRockChevy.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth or want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is endodontist Les Walker inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on KADQ. We're in the middle of the coach's pregame show brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company. We'll be back with Rebel head coach Ashley Brown right after this.
A well-rounded education is one of the keys to success in life. Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company, are cheering for all the students at Rich High School this year. When it comes to buying or selling cattle, the experts at Mound Valley Cattle Company will get it done. Serving Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho. Call 208-339-0614. That's 208-339-0614.
Here with Rebel head coach Ashley Brown. Coach, what a come-from-behind victory. What a way to win homecoming game Friday night.
Yeah, no, that was a good game and good to come out on the winning end.
There were there are a few plays that really made a big difference in the game. The one that sticks out initially in my mind was that sack that Hopkins had, the Buckaroos had at 3rd and 3, and he comes up with that big sack.
Yeah, that was a big play for us. You know, it made them have to try for a field goal, and that was definitely one of the big plays in the game.
How did you feel like your offense was working overall that day?
You know, our offense moved the ball really well. We just had some mental mistakes. We got some holding penalties and some things that set us back, not because of what Monticello was doing to us, but because of what we did to ourselves.
How about the blocking? Did you feel like the blocking had improved a little bit, or were you still got a lot of work to do?
No, I think our line did a good job of blocking. We got to definitely make our backs block better. With the offense that we run, the backs have to block just as much as the linemen. So that's going to be one focus that we're going to work on this week.
Scott Ferguson told me that you were using some new footballs, and that made a little bit of a difference in the passing game. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, the Wilsons, we just have weather ones, and it was cold, and they get really slick and hard to throw, and so we used the Spalding, and it definitely helped us.
Is that, what else really, though, looking at it, what made the difference those last 3 plays? I mean, the passing offense, frankly, for you guys has struggled a bit this season, but you came through in the clutch when you needed to there at the end of the game.
I just think kids were more focused and ran the correct route, and McKay got them the ball and when we needed to, and that definitely helped in that winning drive.
Is that a big win mentally for you guys to get that win over Monticello?
Yeah, that's huge. You know, they beat us pretty good last year, and this year we'll probably see them again come playoffs. So, you know, it was big. The kids know they're a good team, and they were able to come out on top.
I thought they really, it was just impressive the way that you're down by 2 touchdowns, and they just stepped right back into it. There wasn't, there was urgency, but there wasn't any sense of panic.
Right. No, the kids never gave up, and they just kept battling, and we had a couple good things go our way, and that's what you hope they'll continue to do.
Now, this weekend, you're at Kanab, long trip down to the other end of the state.
Yep. Yeah, it's a long ride, and Kanab's a very good team. We've watched film on them, and they run an offense that, you know, we don't see. It's the pistol, and they're going to throw the ball more than anybody that we faced all year, and so we'll have to be able to defend that.
Are they a team you've had a good rivalry with in the past?
Well, they've actually been 2A. This is the first year they've came down in about 5 years. We used to play them when they were 1A, but it's been probably 5 or 6 years since we played them. But they're always a good team, and we know we're going to have to play well.
We know they beat Monticello a few weeks ago. Does that play into how you look at them?
Oh, yeah, and then they played Duchesne last week, and they played right with Duchesne for most of the game, and so we know they're a good team, and we know we're going to have to do some different things defensively in order to stop them.
Can you tell me any specifics about those things you need to do?
Well, their quarterback's really good. He's fast. He runs the ball well. He throws the ball well. If you give him any kind of a gap, he's going to take off, and so it's going to be a struggle to try to contain him, but that's what we have to be able to do.
Can you put any kind of a number or a rating on what kind of a factor it is to have to travel that far to play a game?
You know, our kids are used to it. Every year we either got to go to Monticello or Kanab or Whitehorse. You know, we used to have to go down to Whitehorse. So that's just part of what we have to do with the classification that we're in.
And what about playing under the lights? It's the first night game of the season, right?
Yeah, and that's a little different. You know, it's harder to find the football, and so it's a little different playing under the lights. But, you know, our kids will be excited and should be ready.
And I know it's another game that's not a region game, but how big is it for you to go down and get a win in Kanab?
You know, this will be either this team or Monticello will win their side. So, you know, it would be huge to go there and on their home field and be able to come out with a win, because next time if we do meet them, it'll be on a neutral field. So it's a big game for us.
You got a little winning streak going here. I'd imagine you'd like to keep that going as well.
Yep. Yeah, it's always good to win, and it definitely helps the kids' confidence when you win. So, yeah, that's what we'll be looking to do.
So what are your keys?
Back to Kanab High School. You've been listening to the Rich Rebel Football pregame show. Here's your opening kickoff. We got a little bit behind. That's brought to you by Stacy's Repair. It's over the head of Joseph Leifson and into the end zone for a touchback. The Rebels will have it from their own 20 to start this one off here tonight as the Rich High Rebels and the Kanab Cowboys underway here at Arlen Hafen Stadium. And we want to thank all of our sponsors for making it possible to bring you that pregame show. And if you're watching online at kadqradio.com, you can see the Rebels are in their all whites with the blue trim, silver helmets. Kanab Cowboys in red with the gray pants, gray helmets. It's kind of that grayish-brown. Rebels come out 1st and 10, going south to north. That's right to left from our view and from your view at kadqradio.com. Saby going in motion to the far side. Here's the snap. Give to Saby. Little bit of room. Breaks through one tackler out across the 22 to the 23. And a short gain for Saby to start this one off. And so a little bit of a gain there. Saby finds about 3 yards, and it'll be 2nd down and 7. For the Rebels. Sun has gone down here in Cowboy Country, and it's getting cold outside. There's a breeze, and it's a real cool breeze. Despite being down on the other end of the state from Randolph, it's still pretty cool down here. It was a nice afternoon, but with that breeze and the sun going down, it's really getting cold. Here's Leifson coming in motion. The snap, give to Leifson to this side. Not much room to run. The Cowboy defense closed that hole in a hurry. Leifson maybe gets a yard. And it'll be 3rd down and 6. Tonight's starters, we'll have that for you in just a bit. Again, our kickoff moments ago was brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Rebels looking for a 1st down here on their first possession of the game. No score on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And 10:45 left here, first quarter. Leifson, and it looks like Bartlome out to the far side here, and Argyle out here to the near side. Saby going in motion. Here's the snap. Jarman pitches out to Saby. Some room to run if he could get that block. He can't quite get it. Met by a tackler at the 28. He falls forward to the 20, maybe the 29. We'll see where they mark it. But he's going to be short of the 1st down. A great tackle out there by Merrill Terry, who plays quarterback for the Cowboys as well. Saby picks up about 3, but he's going to be short by a couple of yards. We'll give him 4 yards on the carry, and it'll be 4th down and 2 for the Rebels from their own 28-yard line, looking for that 30 to pick up a 1st down, and they're just short, taking their time in the huddle. If you're watching online at kadqradio.com, you see the lights coming on, and Rebels going to go for it? No, looks like Wallentine's going to line up back to punt this one away. Now timeout for the Rebels. Rebels are taking early timeout here. 9:45 left in the first quarter. No score on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a minute. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel Football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at kadqradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com. Rebels forced into a 4th and 2 from their own 28. They'll line up to punt. Wallentine's punt may have been partially blocked. Gets a nice Rebel roll and inside the 40-yard line down to about the 38. And so the Rebels forced to punt on their first possession, and the Kanab Cowboys will have good field position from their own 38-yard line. 9:35 left here in the first quarter action. No score on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard as the Cowboys take over. Cowboy offense. They've got some big boys up front, a few of them anyway. We'll get you the starting lineups as we go along here as the Cowboys now lined up to go from left to right. That's north to south. Merrill Terry in the shotgun with the pistol formation. Takes the snap, handoff up the middle, and a gain of just a little bit, maybe a yard or two for Aaron Foster. And Foster gets out to the 41 for a gain of 3. Up front for the Kanab Cowboys, number 65, Slaylin Markham is 6 foot, 175-pound junior, is the left tackle. Left guard is Cody Glover, a junior. Center is Jace Little, number 70, also a junior. And right guard and right tackle, a couple of seniors, number 77, Nate Bowman at guard, and number 50, Dan Ramsey at right tackle. 2nd down and 7 for the Cowboys. Terry again in the shotgun with that pistol formation. He's got Foster a couple yards behind him. Here's the snap. Fake. No, it's the ball's on the floor on the ground, and Terry dives back on it. He knew it went down and dove right back on top of it, so it'll be a loss of a couple of yards. Actually, a loss of about 5 back to the 36. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 12 for the Cowboys. Now, their skilled positions, Merrill Terry, a senior, is the quarterback. And the other skill positions, halfback is Aaron Foster, number 12. He's a sophomore. Slot back is Hayden Jones, a senior. Tight end, number 16, Connor Jackman, a sophomore. Wide receivers are Davin Houston, a junior, and Luke Crosby, a senior. They're split out wide to the far side, and here's 3rd down and 12 for the Cowboys. Terry back, looking to throw. Good protection. Now he's going to run away from it. Right up the middle. Breaks one tackle at the 45, and he's got past another at the 50. Breaking tackles, finally drugged down by Rich Rebel, number 33, Kyler Clark. Clear across midfield at the 40. A big gain of 29 yards for Merrill Terry. And that is one of those plays. That's exactly one of the things that Coach Brown was talking about with me in our pregame interview with Coach Brown. He said, we've got to contain him. He's fast. He runs well. And, in fact, if you heard our pregame interview with Coach Bucky Orton, Terry was not a quarterback up until this year. So that may be his better strength, running the football. He lines up again in the shotgun. 2 receivers this near side. They're stacked. 2 to the far side are stacked. Here's a quick throw. Wide receiver screen. It's low. And going to the ground to catch it is number 21 for the Cowboys, Chad Southwick. And Southwick, we'll see where they mark it. He tried to scoot himself forward and pick up a couple extra, but they're going to mark it at the 39. So a 1-yard gain on that pass and catch. No score on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 7:17 left. First quarter. Rebels had it first, but they were forced into a 3-and-out. Cowboys trying to put together a drive here in Rebel territory. Again, wide receivers stacked, 2 to each side. Here's Terry in the shotgun. Foster behind him. Long count. Now he takes the snap. He calls his own number. It's a quarterback draw. He'll pick up a few right up the middle, 35, inside the 33 to almost the 31-yard line. He'll be just short of a first down. Need about 1 more yard. We'll see exactly where they spot this. Looks like they'll put it at the 32, so he'll be a couple yards short. It's a gain of 7 for Foster, or for Terry, rather, the quarterback. And that was absolutely, without question, a designed quarterback keeper. He took a couple of steps back and just found the hole and took off. Again, 2 receivers out to each side. They're stacked. Ball on the near side hash. Here's the snap give to Foster going up the middle. Wrapped up initially. A good push as he's able to just use his momentum. Myers and Skylar Argyle bring him down, but he'll have a first down and a gain of about 4. Now Foster picks up 4, and it's a Cowboy first down. Defensive starters for your Rich Rebels up front. Defensive ends are McKay Jarman and Skylar Argyle, both seniors. Defensive linemen, a couple of seniors as well, Hawken Cornea and Isaac Hopkin. Linebackers for the Rebels, Cash Saby, Chalice Myers, Dakota Clark, and Mitch Jarman. Defensive backs are Jaden Wallenstein, Coy Brown, and Joseph Leifson. And we'll also see Vance Weston in there quite a bit, a defensive back for the Rebels. Here's a 1st down and 10 for the Cowboys inside the Rebel 30-yard line. Terry back looking to throw over the middle. It's tipped and almost taken away. Rebels just missed an opportunity there. Mitch Jarman was in position as the ball went through the hands of Luke Crosby. Crosby couldn't hold on to it, and he was hit as he tried to make that catch. And just too much deflection makes it so tough to catch. So it'll be 2nd down for the Cowboys. 2nd down and 10 at the Rebel 28-yard line. Terry with split receivers, 2 to each side. Foster behind him in the pistol. Here's the snap. Terry looking to throw, looking toward the long post route. He's got his man. Touchdown. A perfect throw by Merrill Terry to Hayden Jones on the flag route. And it's a touchdown, a 28-yard touchdown pass from Merrill Terry to Hayden Jones. And I'll tell you, that was a nice looking pass. That makes it 6-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Cowboys with the lead. 5:39 left in the first quarter. And the Cowboys will line up to kick the extra point with Davin Houston lining up to kick. Connor Jackman to hold. Rebels will bring as much rush as they can. And here's the snap. Hold is good. The kick is up and off to the right side, but through the uprights. It is good, and the Cowboys lead 7-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 5:39 left to go. Rebels will get it back on a Stacy's Repair in Woodruff kickoff when we come back in just a moment. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3 and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
Hunters, you could win a $3,000 gift certificate to Sports World by winning 1st place in the Big Buck Contest. Sports World certificates for 2nd and 3rd place, too. Stop by Castle Rock Chevrolet for details. Before you head to the hills, have Castle Rock change your oil and give your vehicle a multi-point inspection. And when you're hunting for a new car or truck, then stock the lot at Castle Rock.
We're Castle Rock.
A $3,000 prize for 1st place, the Big Buck Contest at Castle Rock Chevrolet.
7-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. The Cowboys got it from their own 38-yard line. They went 62 yards in 8 plays. It was capped off by a 10-yard touchdown pass from Merrill Terry to Hayden Jones, a beautifully paced pass. The defense was there, but the pass right on target, and Jones able to score. Here's the kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. High kick, Leifson fields it at the 10. Got some little bit of room to run, trying to break it to the outside, and he'll be wrapped up at the 25 and brought down up the 26-yard line. Nice tackle there by number 50, Dan Ramsey, who stayed in his lane, did not let Leifson break that containment, and the Rebels will start from their own 26-yard line. And we'll see if they can have a little bit more success than they did on the first possession when they went 3 and out. See if that running game can get going a little bit more. 5:33 left, first quarter. And Rebels trail 7-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. They'll come out with 2 receivers to the far side. Myers, one of them. Here's the snap. Grohl up the middle. No, here's the pitch to Saby to the outside, trying to get around the corner. He does to the 28, the 30, to the 35 before he's tripped up and brought down. And he should have a 1st down, depending on where they spot it. It looks like they're going to give him about 11 yards. And, yeah, I see that far line judge motioning to the chain crew. Let's get moving, guys. That's a 1st down. And that 1st down for the Rich Rebels brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Rebels move the chains. We'll see if they can keep that option working for them. Rebels trailing 7-0 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 5:06 left here, first quarter. 2 in the backfield. Look like Grohl and Saby. Here's the snap, and the ball pops into the air as Jarman tried to pull it away from Grohl. It's on the ground. The Rebels come up with it and actually pick up a yard out to the 38-yard line. Boy, a fortunate turn of events there. As they fumble the football, it pops in the air, and the Rebel falls on top of it, and it's a gain of a yard. So a 2nd down and 9 now for Rich. Bartlome and Myers out here to this near side with Myers in the slot. Sabian Grohl in the backfield. Jump up by the defense. That's Ramsey. Dan Ramsey, who made that tackle on the Stacy's Repair kickoff a few minutes ago, is a 5-yard penalty. That's offsides encroachment, and it's 5 free yards. So that'll help the Rebels out a little bit. That almost breaks off or negates that fumble on first down. It's as good as a 6-yard gain now. And the Rebels will huddle up real quick, call the same play, and run back out here. Bartlome again out here to this near side on the near hash. Football on the far side hash as the Rebels go right to left if you're watching at KADQradio.com. Here's the snap. Give to the up the middle to Saby. Big hole, and he's across the 50 to the 45 and inside almost to the 40-yard line before he's wrapped up and brought down by number 12 is Aaron Foster, who made the tackle. But Saby, a nice gain, and I'll tell you, that was that initial hole opened up by the offensive line. So a nice gain for the Rebels. And we'll give Saby 15 yards on the carry. And it'll bring up a first down. Brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. 2 receivers out to the far side. Saby and Grohl again in the backfield. Here's the snap. Grohl blocking. Saby gets the handoff. Nice second, third effort as he goes forward to cross the 35, inside to about the 33-yard line. And a good gain of about 8 for Saby, who's getting the load tonight. He's already got 5 carries. And he's close to 40 yards. And the Rebels pick up short 8. So it's going to be second down and a short 2, or a long 2 for the Rich High Rebels, who send Bartlome and Myers out to the far side. Myers in the slot. Football on this near side hash. Jarman up under center, takes the snap, give to Saby off the right side. Nice big hole again up the middle, and he'll pick up 10 before he's even touched. We're finally brought down inside the 20. And from the 33 down to the 18-yard line, it's another 15 yards for Cash Saby. And right now the Rebels have found something that's working, and they're just going to keep going to it until the Cowboys stop them. They've run that same play to different sides, 4 plays in a row to Cash Saby. It's gone for 10, 15, 8, and 15 yards. And they're lined up to do it again here. We'll see if they run the same plays. They're now in the middle of the field on a 1st and 10, brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Give to Saby up the middle. Nice block downfield. Touchdown, Cash Saby, and the Rich High Rebels are on the scoreboard. That big hole up the middle, it's 18 yards and a touchdown for Rich High. They just kept going back to that play. It was working. They run it 5 times in a row to one side or the other, and it scores the touchdown for the Rich High Rebels. Cash Saby makes it 7-6 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 2:56 left to go in the first quarter. And Rebels going to line up and try to go for 2 here, it looks like. Jarman takes the snap, fakes the handoff, quick pitch out to Saby. Oh, he fumbled the football. It's on the ground. Jarman will try to scoop it up and run with it. Still on his feet, and he's wrestled down by a gang of Cowboys. So the Rebels fail on the 2-point conversion attempt. And so they'll still trail on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 7-6. Rebels trail to the Kanab Cowboys on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 2:56 left first quarter. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this on a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3, and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth and want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is oral surgeon A.J. Stosich inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
2:56 left here in the first quarter. Rebels get an 18-yard touchdown run. They went 74 yards in 6 plays. The last 5 of those, the same play to the left or right. Here's the kickoff by Joseph Leifson, brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. It's fielded at the 15-yard line. A big hole right up the middle. The Rebels close that quickly and wrap it up at about the 35-yard line. The return man is Chad Southwick, and it looked like He got out to around the 34, 35-yard line before the Rebels wrapped him up and pushed him back. So the Cowboys, who started their first drive on the 38-yard line, their own 38, will start this one at their own 33, not much further back, and I hope the Rebels made some adjustments to stop this Cowboy offense that really just made it look easy the last time they had the football. Again, that kickoff moments ago was brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. And our turnover sponsor today is the Station in Randolph. Cowboys lined up. If you're watching online at kadqradio.com, you see the Cowboys going left to right. You can start to see the glare coming off the helmets as it's really starting to get dark down here in Kanab. In the shotgun is Merrill Terry. Terry waiting for the snap in that pistol position. He's got trips to the far side. Here's the snap. Give to Foster. This near side breaks free from a couple of tacklers, and it's a race down the sideline. He's down to the 30, to the 4, the 40, the 30, now inside to the 20, and finally brought down by Leifson at about the 20-yard line. A big gain of 47 yards for the Cowboys, and Aaron Foster picks up 47. They mark it right at the 20. And he got that initial block, broke a couple of tacklers, bounced it outside, and found the corner. And a big gain. 47 yards. Rebels cannot allow that to happen if they want to keep themselves in this football game. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys at the Rebel 20-yard line. Terry, again in the shotgun. 2 receivers out to each side. Steps back looking to throw. Throwing down the middle, and he overthrows his man. It was intended for Connor Jackman. Saby was right there on the coverage, and he had good coverage there. So the incomplete pass. Tell you what these Cowboys are doing. They're spreading the field on each play. So far, almost every play, they've had 2 receivers out to each side. So they spread the field. They force your defense to spread out, and then they're finding that space up the middle, and they've had some success passing as well. Trips to the far side with the football on the near side hash. Here's Terry from the shotgun. Snap, give to Foster. No, he keeps it himself. Quick screen out to that far side. The catch is made at the 20, trying to break a tackle, and Leifson is there. Mitch Jarman makes the tackle at about the 10. Going to mark it right about the 12-yard line. Yeah, gain of 8 on that play. And the pass was to Chad Southwick. That's his 2nd reception of the game. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 for the Cowboys. Down here in Cowboy country, the Rebels trailing 7-6 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 1:35 left to go first quarter. Rebels got the touchdown, failed on the 2-point conversion attempt. That's why they trailed by 1. Here's the snap, give to Foster up the middle, and he is wrapped up quick and tripped to the ground. Maybe picked up a yard, but not much there. Yeah, they're going to give him a yard on the play. And that'll make it 3rd down and 1. Rebels had a big play on 3rd and 3 last week against Monticello. Isaac Hopkins shot in there and got a sack that really got the spark, got the ball rolling for the Rebels in that comeback victory, 20-19 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard last week in that victory over Monticello. See if they can get a similar stop here on 4th down against the Kanab Cowboys. Going for it here on 4th. Saby showing he's going to bring some pressure. Merrill Terry looking out to that side. The throw is incomplete and then dropped by Wallenstein at the goal line. The pass, boy, Terry read it well and threw to the side where Saby was blitzing from. He had an open receiver, but he just overthrew Connor Jackman. It's incomplete and maybe a good drop there by Wallenstein because now it's a turnover on downs instead of an interception right at the goal line. And who knows how far he would have been able to bring it out. It's 1st and 10 for the Rebels. Come up with a defensive stop and have it from their own 10-yard line with 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Rebels trail 7-6 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Here's the snap. Jarman give to Layson up the middle. Some room to run across the 20 to the 25. He's wrapped up and brought down. And a big gain is that's actually Chalice Myers with the carry. Out to the 25-yard line. It's a 15-yard gain for Myers. And a 1st down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. So Myers, a great way to finish that first quarter action. And no, actually, we got a timeout with 33 seconds left first quarter. We'll take a quick timeout as well and be back with a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3 and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
Hunters, you could win a $3,000 gift certificate to Sports World by winning first place in the Big Buck Contest. Sports World certificates for second and third place, too. Stop by Castle Rock Chevrolet for details. Before you head to the hills, have Castle Rock change your oil and give your vehicle a multi-point inspection. And when you're hunting for a new car or truck, then stock the lot at Castle Rock. We're Castle Rock. A $3,000 prize for first place, the Big Buck Contest at Castle Rock Chevrolet. CastleRockChevy.com.
And picking his way forward across the 30 to the 35 is Chalice Myers again. Just a hard-nosed run there. Keeps those legs churning. And it's a gain of about 10 out to the 35 and close to another first down. Just short to start this second quarter action. And Rebels with a second down and inches here. The snap, Jarman will give to, I'm not sure who he gave it to. It's going to be a first down, but a flag also flies in as the first quarter comes to a close. You hear that buzzer on the scoreboard. Grohl picked up the first down, but it's going to be a hold against the Rebels, and that'll push them back. Not going to help themselves out with that one. And I believe that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. It's 7-6 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Rebels trail the Cowboys here at Arlen Hafen Stadium. 10-yard penalty. They've got a microphone on the official out there as he makes the announcement that it's second down. And just more than 10 yards is what it's going to be after that hold penalty. Rebels marched back to just inside their own 25-yard line. And they'll run one more play because they don't want to end the quarter on a penalty. Jarman, under center, takes the snap, looking for Saby. Now the pitch out to this near side. Leifson trying to get around the corner. 20-yard line wrapped up and brought down out of bounds. And that's not the way the Rebels wanted to end the quarter. A couple of blown-up plays. A hold pushes them back 10 yards, and then a loss of 5 by Leifson. And when we come back, that takes us to the end of the first quarter action. So 7-6 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Second quarter coming up. Rebels will have a third and long when we come back in just a bit. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
Throughout our lives, there are times we may need skilled rehabilitation and nursing care or home health and hospice care. Rocky Mountain Care has been providing these services since 1990. Our skilled staff and specialized programs will meet your loved one's needs. Our staff is dedicated to a high-quality outcome for each of our patients and residents. When you or someone you love needs these professional services, think of Rocky Mountain Care. Simply the best care. www.rmcare.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth and want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is oral surgeon A.J. Stosich inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football at KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com. Rebels with a 3rd and 16. Jarman with 2 receivers this near side, and now a flag comes in, and boy, the Rebels just struggling the last 3 plays, and I think we're going to have a delay of game on this one. No, a false start. Some motion on the front line I did not see, and Rebels had things rolling. They scored a touchdown on 5 straight runs by Cash Saby, and then they had their offense working again as they got the football back. Cowboys called a timeout, a quick adjustment. And suddenly the Rebels are getting pushed back. It's 3rd and 21. Here's the snap. Jarman steps back looking to throw. And the throw in the air, it's knocked to the ground. Boy, a defense coming up and hammers Wallenstein. No, that's Skylar Argyle to the ground. Flag flies in, and boy, he got hammered. I believe that was number 10, Dane Stewart, that came in. And that's going to be a blatant pass interference. It'll give the Rebels 10 yards, but it's still going to be 3rd and 11. It's one of those where you wish it was NFL rules, and, well, I guess it wouldn't have made much of a difference. It would have. It'd be at the spot of the foul, and looks like they'll march off 15 yards. And so it'll be a 3rd down still. That helps out a lot. Now it's 3rd and 6 instead of 3rd and 21. Much more manageable. We'll see if the Rebels can come up with something here. 2 in the backfield with 2 out to this near side. That's Grohl and Saby in the backfield. Here's Jarman taking the snap. Give to Grohl up the middle. Breaks and tackle initially and tries to get through a hole, but he's just slowed up too much. And he'll be brought down about the 32, which is going to be about 4 yards shy of the 1st down. Just outside the 32 is where they mark it. And Grohl, his first carry of the night, just a 3-yard carry, the 3-yard gain. It'll bring up 4th down and 3, a long 3 for the Rebels. Trailing 7-6 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 11:20 left in the first half. And it looks like Wallenstein will line up to punt this one away. We'll see if we can get a better one off this time. The snap is right there in place. It's a low end-over-end kick. Takes a nice Rebel bounce at the 40, down inside the 30 to about the 21-yard line. A nice, ends up being a nice punt. It was a low line drive by Wallenstein, but it kept it away from the return men. And they'll mark it at the 22. Rebels' second punt of the night, which is not something I don't think I've said that all season long. The second punt of the night for the Rebels, but it is what it is. Here's the Cowboys will take over 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line with 11:06 left here in the second quarter, and Rebels trailing 7-6 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Cowboys now going south to north, right to left if you're watching at kadqradio.com. And they line up in that pistol formation with 3 receivers to the near side. Man going in motion toward the line. Here's the snap. He's going to run a little block inside. And Terry coming this side is tripped up and slips down as Isaac Hopkin got back in there and put enough pressure on Terry to force him to lose 4 yards on the carry. Nice defensive play there for the Rich Rebels. And so the Cowboys back inside their own 20-yard line now, leading 7-6 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 10:35 left here in the first half. Split receivers out to each side. Terry in the shotgun. Foster behind him. Here's the snap. Terry back looking to throw. He's forced out of the pocket with pressure coming, and now the Rebels will bring him down. A lot of pressure back there, and Ben Grohl, is it? Yeah. Oh, no, that's not. That's Wyatt Clark. No, that's Jacob Terry in there who made the tackle for the Rebels. Nice sack by Terry. And that's a loss of another 4 yards. Bring up a 3rd and 17 for the Cowboys. 9:55 left in the first half. Rebels trail 7-6 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, and it's 3rd and 17 for the Cowboys at their own 15-yard line. Terry, the shotgun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolling out to his right. He throws out there. The catch is made, but a quick tackle right at the 20-yard line, and a good defensive stop for the Rebels. Luke Crosby makes the catch, but Coy Brown is right there with him, and he makes the tackle. So it's a gain of about 6 for the Cowboys. And that'll bring up a 4th down and 11. So the Cowboys will line up to punt this one away. Jarman and Leifson back to receive. It's a high punch, short. Takes a Cowboy bounce toward the sideline and goes out right about midfield. So a good defensive stand by the Rebels. They force the punt. And the Rebels will take over. Right at the 50 is where they'll mark it. So the Rebels with their best field position of the day. They started their first drive at their own 20, then their own 26, then their own 10-yard line. 2 of those ended in punts. 1 ended in a 74-yard drive in 6 plays and a touchdown. Today's game also brought to you in part by SBRS Trucking, Eric and Sherry South. Rebels line up with 3 in the backfield now on 1st and 10. Jarman takes the snap, spins around, handoff to Leifson, trying to bounce it outside, finds some room inside the 45 before he's wrapped up about the 44-yard line. Going off to that far side. And it should be a gain of about 6. No, they're going to mark it right at the 45. So a gain of 5 for Leifson. And the Rebels looking to move the football a little bit more after that. They trail 7-6 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 8 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first half. Again, 3 in the backfield for the Rebels. Jarman takes the snap, same play, give to Leifson. He bounces it outside again. First down and more inside the 35, right about the 30. He's hit hard out of bounds. And we'll have to see exactly where they mark that. It will be a first down and a gain of about 10. I think they're going to say he went out of bounds. Yeah, right at the 35-yard line. So Leifson picks up 10. It's a first down, brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Rebels trailing 7-6 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with Leifson, Sabian, Grohl again in the backfield. Bartlome out here to this near side. Here's the give to Myers, who, my mistake, he was in the backfield. He dives ahead inside the 30, and he just went straight ahead, got upended, but able to just kind of leap over the defender and dive forward for a gain of about 6. He's inside the 30-yard line. And the Rebels now a second down and short. Much more manageable. Rebels going left to right. That's north to south. If you're watching at KADQradio.com, you see them in their all-white, the Cowboys in the red and gray. Here's the snap. Jarman give to Leifson again. Tries to bounce it outside, and he picks up a few inside the 25-yard line or right near to it. And it should be a first down. Yes, I see that far line judge motioning the chain gang once again. Let's move it on, guys. That's a first down for the Rebels, brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. And the Rebel offense moving the football once again. They trail 7-6 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 7 minutes, 26 seconds left, first half. As Bartlome comes to the near side, Myers in the slot. 2 receivers to the far side. Grohl alone in the backfield. Here's Jarman. He takes the snap. Gives to Grohl, left side, bounces off one tackler, tries to bounce off another, gets it down around the 20-yard line. It's going to be close to a 5-yard carry for Grohl. And say 4 for Ben Grohl. It'll bring up a second down and 6 for the Rebels. They're down about the Cowboys just inside the 21, or just outside the 20-yard line. Knocking on the door, getting onto the doorstep here as the Rebels come out for a second down and 6. Grohl again alone in the backfield, split receivers to each side. Myers going in motion, takes the snap, or Jarman takes the snap, gives to Myers. He gets a good head of steam, but he's tripped up and dives forward once again, then rolls at, they're going to mark him down about the 18, or do they put it at the 17-yard line? Yeah, right about the 17, so it's a gain of 3 for Myers. And it'll be third down and a short 3. We're just going to call it 2 for Chalice, or for the Rebels. 6:13 left in the first half. Rebels trail 7-6 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Leifson coming in motion. Give to Leifson, trying to bounce it outside. He finds a little room initially, breaks a tackle at the sideline to get himself real close to a first down. We'll see where they spot this. It's going to be just short. Great effort by Leifson just to get close. And the Rebels will face a 4th and short. A 4th and 1 after Leifson picks up about 2. And you may have heard the PA announcer say, Cowboy fans, let's make some noise. This is a crucial 4th down in this football game. Rebels with 3 receivers here to the near side. Jarman takes the snap, pushes ahead. He's going to have the first down inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. A gain of 3 for Jarman, and he does that so well. And he gets a great push up front from that offensive line. And the Rebels move the chains, get a first down, brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. 5 minutes, 48 seconds left, first half. Rebels trail 7-6, but they're in the red zone. At the 13-yard line, a 1st and 10 for Rich High. Bartlome out to this near side, 3 in the backfield for the Rich High Rebels. Jarman takes the snap, looking to Leifson, gives it off to him. He's trying to bounce it outside, and boy, a big gang of Cowboys comes in and brings him down. That is gang tackling at its best from the Kanab Cowboys right there. It's a loss of 1 for Leifson. who's had a lot of success bouncing it out to that far side, but couldn't find any running room on 1st and 10. And now it's 2nd down and 11 for the Rebels, back at the 14, about the 13-yard line of the Kanab Cowboys. Grohl and Leifson in the backfield, Myers in the slot, and Wallenstein out here to this, out wide to this near side. Here's the snap, the pitch, and it's a one-handed grab by Leifson, and boy, he's going to be wrapped up and brought down clear back at the 20, and the blocking out on the outside just wasn't there as the Rebel offense suddenly can't find any room to run. They lose 7 on that play, and it'll be 3rd down and long. We're going to call it 3rd and 18 for the Rebels. They mark it right at the 20-yard line, and they need almost the 2 for a 1st down. This is 4-down territory without a doubt for Rich High, so we'll see if they can pick up 8 or 9 yards on this 3rd down play. Bartlemy out to the far side. Football on this near side hash, and it's Grohl and Myers in the backfield. Leifson in the slot. Here's the snap. Jarman rolling to his left. He's got some blocking out there. He's going to stop, throw, and it's dropped by Bartlemy. The defender went in there and may have gotten a little bit of a deflection right there about the 2-yard line on the sideline. And Bartlemy couldn't hold on to the pass. So that'll bring up a 4th and long, 4th and 18 for the Rebels. And I don't have much doubt whether they'll go for this or not. There's no point in punting, and I don't know if there's the confidence in the field goal team to attempt a field goal here from their own 20-yard line. It would be almost a 40-yard field goal, which would be pretty incredible at any high school football team. Rebels line up with 2 in the backfield, I formation, 2 out to the far side. Here's the snap. Jarman. We're going to run a reverse. Wallenstein looking to throw. He's got Argyle wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Rebels. Argyle is hammered, but he holds on, and the Rebels take the lead 12-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Touchdown, Rebels. That little reverse, and then the wide receiver pass by Jaden Wallenstein. A 20-yard pass to Skylar Argyle. And that's Argyle's 2nd touchdown catch in as many games. He had one last week against Monticello. That helped make it a game. That was part of that big comeback by the Rebels. And now Rich High going to line up and go for 2. They're going to try to make it a full touchdown and extra point game here if they can get the 2-point conversion. 3:57 left in the first half on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Rebels lead 12-7. And we got a timeout on the field. We'll take a quick one as well. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
Throughout our lives, there are times we may need skilled rehabilitation and nursing care or home health and hospice care. Rocky Mountain Care has been providing these services since 1990. Our skilled staff and specialized programs will meet your loved one's needs. Our staff is dedicated to a high-quality outcome for each of our patients and residents. When you or someone you love needs these professional services, think of Rocky Mountain Care. Simply the best care. www.rmcare.com.
Welcome back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and watch it online at KADQradio.com. Rebels coming out of this timeout. They just put together a 50-yard drive. It took them 11 plays, but they hammered it out. A 4th and 18 from the 20-yard line. They run a reverse. Wallenstein finds Skylar Argyle in the end zone for the 18-yard or the 20-yard touchdown pass. Now they're going to go for 2. 3 in the backfield. Here's the snap. Give to Myers. He's wrapped up. He dives forward and he's in. That far line judge comes running in saying that Myers gets across the plane, and it's 14-7. Rebels lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 3:57 left in the first half. You're listening to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM and watch it online at KADQradio.com.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Back to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com. A touchdown for the Rebels. They picked up a number of first downs, brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. And the Rebels lead 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And now the kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Leifson lined up to kick this one away. And we'll see if Leifson can get off a good one from the 40-yard line. A nice kick angled toward the sideline, and it's fumbled on the return attempt right about the 16-yard line. And now he'll be wrapped up and pushed out of bounds. That was Brandon Southwick, who couldn't hold on to the football initially, and then couldn't find any room to run. Good coverage by the Rich Rebel kickoff coverage team. And the Cowboys of Kanab will start from their own 21-yard line. Rebels with the lead, 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 3:52 left in this first half. Last time the Cowboys had it, they were forced into a 3-and-out. And we'll see if the Rebel defense can come up with another stop here. Cowboys will spread it out again with two receivers out wide to each side. Football on the near side hash. They're moving right to left. Long count. Here's the snap. Give to Foster, far side. Not a lot of room to run. He's wrapped up initially by Myers, tripped up, and then wrapped up and brought down by, I believe that was Hopkins. And just a short gain there of 2 for Foster. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Foster had a big gain of 47 on that exact same play in the first quarter. The Rebels bottled him up on that one. Again, two receivers out wide to each side. Foster back in the pistol behind Terry. Merrill in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Terry back looking to throw. Looks over the middle. The pass is complete. A quick hit, but a broken tackle. And Mitch Jarman finally brings number 26, Hayden Jones, down about the 30. So it's a gain of about 7. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Merrill Terry has been efficient passing the football. 5 of 8, so just 3 incompletions. He's got a 28-yard touchdown pass and about 40 passing yards in all. Here's a 3rd and 1. Here's the snap. Give to Foster, and the Rebels get some incredible penetration, and they'll bring Foster down clear back at the 26. There's that defensive penetration by the Rebels. Chalice Myers just shot in there and brought Foster down. And now a timeout on the field with 2:19 left to go in the first half. Rebels are going to take a timeout. And we'll keep it right here. It's 14-7. Rebels lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And what the Rebels are... Timeout, Rich. That's their final timeout, but what it does, it stops the clock. And they're going to get the football back. Coach Brown is thinking, let's get one more score before we go into halftime. The offense is working so far, and their defense, boy, I can't say enough about that defensive penetration on that last play. It was a 3rd and 1, and they bring Foster down for a loss of 4, making it 4th and 5, a short 5. But it is a 4th down and 5, and now Leifson and Jarman, that's Mitch Jarman, will go back to receive this punt. As I believe it's Hayden Jones going back to kick it away. He's lined up back at his own 10-yard line to try and punt this one away for the Cowboys. And we got to watch out for the possibility, at least, of a fake. The snap is a high, and there's Jones. Here he goes across the 15 to the 20. As some tacklers are there, he's got the first down across the 31, out of bounds at the 35. Oh, that just breaks your heart right there. 2:09 left in the first half. It's 14-7 Rebels with the lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And Jones picks up 10 yards on a 4th and 4 out to the 36-yard line. We've got some, that fake punt and a first down.
And the officials signal the first down.
Took the officials a minute to signal that first down, but they do. And now the Cowboys come back up on this near side hash mark. Trips to the far side. And no, just 2 out to that far side. And now a whistle will stop play for just a moment. Not sure what they're out here to discuss. Rebels leading 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And today's game brought to you in part by S-Bar S Trucking, Eric and Sherry South. Kickoffs today are brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. First downs by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. And that fake punt, boy, that could, we'll see what happens here, but that could make a huge difference in the outcome of this football game. Instead of the Rebels getting the football back with a 1st and 10, Cowboys have a 1st and 10. We'll see if their offense can keep it rolling. Merrill Terry, long count, takes the snap. It's low. He goes down and get it. Throwing down to this near sideline and picked off. Coy Brown plays center fielder and intercepts the pass. Hayden Jones comes in as Brown is on the ground and just takes it away, but it's an interception, and that turnover is brought to you by the station in Randolph. That's as good as a punt right there, and the Rebels should be taking it over at their own 35-yard line, but there's a flag back here at the 34, and we'll have to see what that flag is. If that's against the Cowboys, there's no doubt the Rebels will decline it and have it 1st and 10 with 2:01 left in the first half. Yeah, they're going to talk out there with Wyatt Clark, and he's going to say, we don't want that penalty. Let's see what the official says. He's still discussing it with one of his officials, but I think the Rebels are going to have it here, a 1st and 10. And here's the call from the official. Wow, that's not exactly what we wanted. It was a chop block on the offense. So the Rebels will take over 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line with 2 minutes, 1 second left. And the Rebels are lined up ready to go. The official's not there yet, not ready to go. So Rich High will have to wait just a moment. Rebels, if you're watching online at kadqradio.com, you see the official there again making the call. It's a chop block on the offense. Rebels decline. And the interception, again, brought to you. That's interception brought to you by the station in Randolph. So Rebels with 2:01 left in the first half, leading 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Jarman under center takes the snap. Give to Grohl, who breaks one tackle, spins away from another. He's got the first down across the 45 and a little bit of extra. It's an 11-yard gain for Grohl. And that's the Ben Grohl we're used to seeing running the football this year, breaking tackles and just powering through guys. And we're down under 1:55 left to go now. Rebels quickly back up to the line with 3 in the backfield. As Cowboys sprinting to get off the field. He didn't make it off. Here's the snap, give up the middle. Rebels pushing forward, and I think that's Myers all the way inside the 45-yard line. No, that's Cash Saby who picks up 11 yards. There was not a dead ball foul, so I'd assume the Rebels are going to take the play with the 11-yard gain. Yeah, the flag. There was 12 men on the field. The guy didn't get off the field in time. And the Rebels picked up 11 yards with that Cash Saby run. And I think they're just going to take the 11 yards and decline the penalty. I know that's what I would do. Officials talking out here with Caden Bartlome, who says, yeah, we want to decline that penalty. Oh. No, what are they going to do? Yeah, penalty declined. Rebels go back into the huddle for just a moment. It's 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Rich High with the lead. And the football, 1:40 left to go, and they're in Cowboy territory. 1:40 left to go in the first half. I should clarify. Rebels a 1st down and 10. Here's the snap, give to Myers, breaks off one tackler, and again across into first down territory inside the 45 inside the 35 to the 31. And that's a 12-yard, 13-yard gain for Myers, and another first down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Rebels line up. Here they go again. The give to Saby off that left side into the middle, and he'll be wrapped up and brought down about the 26-yard line. That'll be about a 6-yard carry for Saby and bring up a second down. Bring up a 2nd down and 5 for the Rebels. Jarman will just take the snap and spike it, and with 1 minute and 12 seconds left in the first half. Rebels leading 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, and that'll stop the clock, and it's a 3rd down and 4, really. It took the chain gang a little bit of time to get set up just where they should be, and that carry by Saby on 1st down was really more of a 6-yard gain. So it's third and a long 4 for the Rebels with 1:12 left in the first half at the Cowboy 26-yard line. Rebels line up with 3 in the backfield. Grohl, Saby, and Myers, I believe. Here's the snap. Here's the option. Fake the handoff. Throwing for the end zone and just overthrown. The pass intended for Jaden Walentine, and he was open out there. He beat the defender, but just couldn't quite get out to make the catch on that pass. Jarman just led him a bit too far, and that'll bring up a 4th down and 4 for the Rebels with 1:06 left in the first half. Again, Rebels leading 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, and it's 4th and a long 4 from the Cowboy 26-yard line rather. Bartlome out to the far side, 3 in the backfield for the Rebels. Jarman, we'll see a hard count here and see if they can get some movement on the front line. They don't get it. Give to Saby left side. He's going to be stacked up. Second effort, not going to be enough. And I think the Rebels are going to turn it over. He's going to be just about a yard short of the first down. We'll see just where they mark it, just where they spot it. It's at the 22 is what it looks like. Yeah, a 3-yard gain for Saby. It's a yard short of the first down, and it's a turnover on downs. And the Cowboys will take it over. 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line with 59 seconds left to go in the first half. Rebels with a 14-7 lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 2 receivers stacked out to each side. Here's Terry. Tries to run and shooting in there to make the tackle is the Rebels. Is that Mitch Jarman? No, it was Wyatt Clark who came in, tackled Terry, and kept him from breaking free. That would have been a big carry for Terry. He had some room to run if Clark doesn't make that tackle. But as it is, it's a loss of 2 for Terry. I'll bring up a 2nd and 12 with time running. 30 seconds left in the first half. And again, split receivers out to each side. Here's the snap. Give to Foster. No, Terry's going to keep it himself. Looking to throw. Nope, he's going to run. Outside the 20, the 25, tiptoeing down the sideline to the 30 before he's hammered by Cash Saby. No, Coy Brown hits him out of bounds. It looks like enough for a first down, or at least close to it. We'll see where they spot. Oh, right outside the 30. It'll be just short. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be just short of the first down, about a yard short. So Terry picks up 9. You see his speed out there, getting around the outside, but it'll be 3rd and 1 with 18 seconds left in the first half. If you're the Rebels at this point, boy, give them all the yards they want. Just don't let them score going into halftime. Split receivers to each side. Here's the snap. Terry hands off to Foster. Foster coming to this near side. He's got the first down out close to the 35. We're going to mark him at the 34-yard line with 14 seconds left in the first half. So Foster picks up 4. And a timeout for the Kanab Cowboys. 14 seconds left in this first half. Rebels with the lead, 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Stay tuned. We'll keep it right here for you as the Rebels have the lead. They trailed 7-0 early on, but the next possession they had after that Cowboy touchdown, Rebels answered, but they failed on a 2-point conversion, so that left it at 7-6, and the Rebels still trailed. The Cowboys turned it over on downs. The Rebels punted, Cowboys punted, and the Rebels took over. They made a nice drive. They got it from the 50-yard line and went 50 yards in 11 plays. They kind of stalled down in the red zone, but on 4th down, a little trick play, a pitch to Jaden Walentine, who found Skylar Argyle in the end zone for a 20-yard touchdown pass on 4th and 18. They converted the 2-point conversion and leads 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. With 14 seconds left now, the Cowboys have gotten it back, put together a little bit of a drive out to the 34-yard line, their own 34, I should clarify, and they've got 14 seconds left of the 1st and 10. And the Rebels have 4 defensive backs out there now. They're just going to play a prevent defense and keep these Cowboys out of the end zone. Terry takes the snap, pauses for just a second, and takes off running. Down the sideline, he goes out of bounds right about midfield. Got away from one would-be tackler, and Joseph Leifson. He picks up 15 yards out to the 49 and stops the clock. That's a good play by Terry, but it ate up half the time they had. They had 14 seconds. They're down to 7. So they really, unless they make something happen real quick, this is time for one last play here, and we'll see what they do. Rebels, going to back up 4 defensive backs. If you're watching online at kadqradio.com, you can see Leifson, Brown, Saby back there as well. And here's the throw by Terry out to the far side. He missed throws, and it's incomplete. So they will have one more play as the clock stops with 2 seconds left on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And the Cowboys will be able to get off one final play here before the half. Rebels with the lead, 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. It's 2nd and 10 for the Kanab Cowboys from their own 49-yard line. And the Rebels with Saby, Brown, Leifson, and Wallenstein playing defensive backs. We don't see two safeties in there very often, and what the Rebels are just doing is, in Cash Saby, instead of kind of lining up closer to the line of scrimmage, he's just backed off and playing a free safety center fielder back there, back about the 35-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 10, and coming in motion. Here's the snap. Terry rolling to his right. Looks like he's going to try to run for it. The clock buzzer sounds. He's across inside the 40 to the 35 to the 30 before 3 or 4 Rebels get in there, and they're going to wrap him up and bring him down at the 25. It's a big gain for Terry, but not nearly enough, and that's exactly what you wanted if you're the Rebels. You can give up the yards, just don't give up the points. And so the Rebels will go into halftime leading 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. This wraps up the second quarter action, and halftime show is coming up. The Western Ag Credit scoreboard again has the Rebels leading 14-7 as we head for the half. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Hunters, you could win a $3,000 gift certificate to Sports World by winning first place in the Big Buck contest. Sports World certificates for 2nd and 3rd place too. Stop by Castle Rock Chevrolet for details. Before you head to the hills, have Castle Rock change your oil and give your vehicle a multi-point inspection. And when you're hunting for a new car or truck, then stock the lot at Castle Rock.
We're Castle Rock.
A $3,000 prize for first place, the Big Buck contest at Castle Rock Chevrolet. CastleRockChevy.com.
Welcome back to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com. It's homecoming here tonight in Cowboy Country at Kanab High School and Arlen Hafen Stadium. The Rebels right now, though, with the lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, 14-7. Rich High trailed early, 7-0. Cowboys got on the board first on their first drive. They went 8 plays and 62 yards, a 28-yard touchdown pass from Merrill Terry to Hayden Jones, and they made the extra point. It looked like the Cowboys were going to have an easy time on offense, but the Rebels made some adjustments on defense. They also made some adjustments on offense. Cash Saby on that ensuing possession, Rebels trailed 7-0. Rebels got the ball back, and they went 5 times in a row, the handoff to Cash Saby, once left, once to the right, once to the left, once to the right. It was the same play, and it went for 10, 15, 8, 15, and then 18 yards, and that last one of 18 yards was a touchdown for Saby. That made it 7-6. Rebels failed on the 2-point conversion attempt, so they trailed 7-6. Teams went back and forth a little bit, and the Rebels got it back. They put together a little bit of a drive, got into the red zone, and stalled, and it was a 4th down and 18 from the 20-yard line. Ran a trick play, a pitch to Jaden Wallenstein. He passed for 20 yards to Skylar Argyle in the end zone. And I tell you, Argyle made a great play. He caught the ball, and he was hammered after he caught the ball, but he held on for the touchdown. Rebels then handed it off to Chalice Myers for the 2-point conversion and made it 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Cowboys ensuing possession, they ran a fake punt, got the first down, and then Coy Brown came up with an interception that was brought to you. Turnover brought to you by the station in Randolph. And the Rebels then turned it over on downs. Cowboys had just 59 seconds left. They had a drive going, but they ran out of time. And that brought us to the half. And Rebels again leading 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. It's been an exciting first half, and if you're watching online at kadqradio.com, you can see some of the festivities, halftime dancing going on for the Kanab Cowboys, and it's a beautiful night, but it is cold here in Kanab. It's a cold night, and you can see the K lit up on the mountain before the sun went down. It's a beautiful setting here at Kanab with the red rock, the red hills all around here down in southern Utah. Sure was a long drive for the Rebels, but you hear the statement sometimes of they're slow to get off the bus, and that may have been the case a little bit. Rebels went 3 and out on their first possession, but then after that, the next possession by the Cowboys, they took the lead 7-0, but it's been all Rebels since then. They've scored 14 straight points and have the lead 14-7. Leading runner for the Rebels, Cash Savy, 10 carries, 93 yards. Chalice Myers also has 5 for 47. And Joseph Leifson has 9 carries for right around 30 yards. He's been bottled up a little bit and had a couple pitches thrown out to him that he lost 5 and 7 yards on each of those. So that's where we are right here at the half. Rebels, not a lot of success passing the ball except that one trick play. Jaden Wallenstein found Skylar Argyle for a 20-yard touchdown pass in the end zone. And the Rebels lead 14-7 here on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. We're at halftime, and coming up here on our halftime show, we've got a lot coming up, actually. It's a busy halftime show. We've got students in the classroom, actually. We're going to be talking with Aaron May, a student at Rich High School, with our students in the classroom. We'll also have the University of Wyoming Cowboy head coach Dave Christensen with us, talking with us here on our halftime show. So that's all coming up. Again, Rebels lead 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, and it's halftime. We're going to take a quick break. Actually, we're just going to go right into the student in the classroom right now with Aaron May.
Tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about Aaron May.
Right now I'm really busy with concurrent classes from both USU, Snow, and UVU. I'm taking 19 credit hours trying to get my associates while I graduate from high school, and so try to accomplish getting that all done. So when I move on, I'm probably going to go to Weber or U of U. So I'm trying to become a forensic type field, either anthropology, pathology, or toxicology. I'm really interested in like chemistry, biology type stuff. Any sort of anatomy just fascinates me. And I also am in musical. Have been doing that for the past 3 years. Hope to do it this year. Really love it. And during the springtime, I do golf. I have had golf all-state, and says in the top 10 last year for girls golf, 1A. Got to go to the all-state banquet, and it was really fun.
Okay, that's a lot of stuff. Sounds like you're really busy. So you're taking classes from Utah State, Utah Valley University, and Snow College, but you're going to go to Weber State. How does that work out?
Well, what it is they transfer all the credits over to USU, and then the associate's degree actually comes from USU. And if you don't get your associates, some of the credits might not transfer, and that's part of the reason why I'm pushing so hard to get my complete associates, because if not, I might have issues with transferring some of the stuff. But I've been advised that Weber probably has one of the best programs to go into medical, and that's kind of what the forensics is more medical. So,
how did you settle on the forensics side of things? I mean, how did you even get into that?
I've watched Bones. It's a TV series, and I've loved watching like Criminal Minds and things like that. And since I love having medically, but I can't tolerate like needles and stuff, so my sister's actually trying to be a neurosurgeon, and I just decided I couldn't deal with having people that were inexperienced practice sticking with needles. So that's why I decided on more diagnosis and figuring out how people got killed. So.
Very cool. And are you going to be scrambling a little bit to complete that associate's degree?
A little bit. I mostly, since I'm taking the 19 credit hours for this first semester, then I have the extra 21 for later. But I mostly have all the stuff done from last year. I took a summer class for midterms, and so I think I'll be safer later in the year. It's just this first trimester that's really that big push.
So what else did you mention? You talked about going into forensics and your associate's degree that you're working on. You talked about theater. What are the shows that you've done the last few years?
We did Aida my freshman year. Sophomore year, we did Little Shop of Horrors. And this past year, we did South Pacific. So this year, they're thinking about Fiddler on the Roof. So I think that'll be a really interesting, fun, upbeat play to do.
Do you want to talk about roles that you had in some of those, maybe in just last year in South Pacific?
Well, I was a dancer for the freshman and sophomore year before I got really in the associate's degree and decided, I had to cut that out. But so mostly it's just been background dancing for those parts of the plays, just the minor roles that support.
Do you want to continue doing theater maybe when you get into college?
I think it'd be fun to take a few classes, but yeah, it'll be mostly focusing on the forensics, medical side of things.
Do you do choir, anything like that here?
I took choir my freshman and sophomore year, and then from them, just moved on to the more necessary for my associates.
And then you're also a golfer. It sounds like you're pretty good.
Yeah, I just actually started golfing when I was a freshman. I have a neighbor who golfs, and all his sons golf, and it was just something that always really interested me. And so I was like, okay, let me get into that. And so he actually helped me purchase my first set of clubs and got me really into the game and helped me just cut down the score to get lower and lower. And one of my best scores is 100. Tried to get below 100, but yeah, I think I've really improved under Williamson. He's our coach, and we used to have Coach Anthony Mitchell, which he transferred to another school, but I think it's really helped to have their support to really push us to be our best.
Where's the best place to golf in northern Utah? What's your favorite?
Oh, that's a tough question. Mostly we've been in southern Utah, but I'd say Rose Park. It's not too southern, but that's where we did state, and they have a really nice course where it's mostly flat, not too many water hazards.
Not like the course in Bear Lake there at Garden City.
Yeah, the fourth hole. That's the hole that always gets me with that water hazard. But I love our course, too, how it's just the 9 holes, and it's really good for practicing and getting over those mental blocks of water hazards and sand traps.
So your goals then are to finish your associate's degree this year. What else do you have as far as goals in the classroom?
I'm one of those people where I really try to get A's and excel and keep my GPA up. And so I'm not the valedictorian or salutatorian because we have a lot of really smart kids in our class, but I am in the top 5. And I think it's really good to push yourself to do your best, and if you put in a little bit extra effort to get the A versus getting the A- or the B, why not just put in that extra time?
Excellent. That's awesome. Way to go. Aaron, thank you for joining us today for Rebel in the Classroom.
Yep, thanks.
Well, a big thank you. It's been great to visit with Aaron May today on Students in the Classroom. Next year on the Halftime Show, we visit with University of Wyoming Cowboy head coach on the Coach Dave Christensen Show.
Mark Ainsworth now talking with Coach Dave Christensen of the Wyoming Cowboys. Now, Coach, now that you've had a chance to sit down and look at the Texas State game film, what did you see?
Well, execution obviously is the easy answer. From a defensive standpoint, we had a number of 3-and-outs, but we give up big plays and then we keep drives alive and didn't tackle particularly well after the break. Offensively, we didn't play very well, and starting up front was probably our worst performance. And when you don't play well up front, the quarterback's forced to scramble. We didn't, block very well to run the ball. We didn't block very well to protect the quarterback.
You're into your bye week, Coach. Is there some things you're going to fix?
No, we after sitting down and evaluating, of course, we'll go back through and we're going to evaluate everything we've done the first 5 games. I've only watched the offensive tape other than the defensive game yesterday with the defensive staff. The good news is that our offense isn't broken. There's a lot of good things that we've done up to this point in time, and it's not, I can promise you this, we're not going to scrap what we're doing and try to come up with something new. We've got to execute better in some situations that we were put into on Saturday night. Certainly am pleased with where we're at from that standpoint. We just have a couple different wrinkles we're going to add to the package, do a better job, and get our guys to play better.
Does the bye week come at a good time?
I think it does come at a good time. We've had a plan already for what we were going to do over this week, and we'll get some work done with our starters. And we were in a position now that guys will start getting banged up, and twos are going to have to play. And so now it's a great opportunity for our twos and some threes to get a ton of reps in practice, get coached on all those reps, and it's really a chance for us to do some development in our program. It comes at a great time for us to be able to do that, to get our team completely healthy. Guys are banged up. There are guys that haven't missed a rep yet that can use time off to heal. I mean, it's part of the thing, in college football is you're going to play after the first week or two hurt every week. Every player is going to be sore. This is going to allow us to let that soreness get out and spend some time working on their bodies, yet still get some work done on the field. But from a physical standpoint, a hitting standpoint, we'll back off quite a bit on the guys that have been taking the majority of the reps this week, and then we'll get them back into the flow on Saturday.
At this point in time, how's the attitude of the Wyoming Cowboy football team?
They were down. They're disappointed. We've got a great group of kids, a great football team that wants to win each and every week. I don't question that. I don't question work ethic, commitment. But there comes a time that you got to move on, and and that was this morning. They watched the film. We made the corrections. I had a team meeting. Went through my disappointments and what we have to do. And the big thing is that we're all in this together. This is no finger pointing in our program. It starts with me having to do a better job getting the team prepared than our coaches and putting our players in the best position. And then it's their responsibility to be emotionally and mentally ready to play. And so we're all in this together. And so that's the point that I wanted to make to them, that hey, it's done. We're going to look out the windshield, not in the rearview mirror, and we're going to work our tails off to get better each and every day. We'll be a better football team in 2 weeks than we were last Saturday, and we've got all of our goals in front of us. We want to compete in the conference. We want to know in the conference. That hasn't changed. Our goal is to be undefeated in the War Memorial Stadium. We get another opportunity to do that in 2 weeks. We want to play in the postseason and win a bowl game, and we have an opportunity to do that still. So, the season is, not going to be based off of our performance in one game, and, we get to the game against New Mexico here for homecoming and get a win. We're 4-2 halfway through the season, and, all of our goals are still out there.
That's our weekly interview with Wyoming football coach Dave Christensen. Thanks, Coach.
Well, we're getting ready for the third quarter kickoff. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth and want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is oral surgeon AJ Stosich inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Throughout our lives, there are times we may need skilled rehabilitation and nursing care or home health and hospice care. Rocky Mountain Care has been providing these services since 1990. Our skilled staff and specialized programs will meet your loved one's needs. Our staff is dedicated to a high-quality outcome for each of our patients and residents. When you or someone you love needs these professional services, think of Rocky Mountain Care. Simply the best care. www.rmcare.com.
Welcome back to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at kadqradio.com. It's 14-7 at the half. The Rebels lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And, boy, a couple of interesting notes. Cash Saby, 10 carries, 93 yards. Now, again, any stats I give you, not official, but I keep track of them myself, and I know they're really close. As Saby, 10 carries, 93 yards. Chalice Myers, 5 for 47. McKay Jarman, 2 carries, 4 yards. At this time last game against, last week against, who did they play? Monticello, that's right. Against Monticello last week, McKay Jarman had 23 carries, 113 yards. He had 40 at the half. But it was a different story for Chalice Myers, who had 2 carries for 9 yards. So it's a different weapon, but had a similar result as the Rebels. McKay Jarman has been handing the ball off. That option play has not been there consistently for the Rebels. So they've been giving it to Cash Savy, who's found a lot of running room, especially right up the middle. On that touchdown, that first touchdown drive the Rebels had, he had 5 carries in a row, 10, 15, 8, 15, and 18 yards. That last one was an 18-yard touchdown. And again, he's got almost 100 yards, 93 yards as we're at halftime, and the Rebels lead 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Now, taking a look at what the other teams in the region are doing tonight, the Milford Tigers are hosting the Kanab JV team. That's why we did not have a JV game here at Kanab this evening. That is tonight, 7 p.m. as well. Altamont Longhorns at Monticello tonight, so they're here down a little bit further to our east from where we are here in Kanab. And the Duchesne Eagles are at Diamond Ranch. Now, the Rebels will play Duchesne next week, and that'll be a big one for the Rich High Rebels, who have to travel next week to take on the Duchesne Eagles. That'll be a big battle for Rich High, and it'll be back into 1A North region play. So that's coming up next week. Also, I want to remind you that coming up tomorrow, right here on KADQ 98.3 FM and online at kadqradio.com, the Lady Rebel volleyball team is in action at Altamont. Following tonight's game, my trusty camera guy here, Tim, and I are going to hit the road. We're going to make our way up to Richfield for tomorrow's volleyball match. And the pregame will start at 12:10. First serve is scheduled for 12:30 tomorrow afternoon as the Rich Lady Rebels play at Altamont. So that's coming up tomorrow afternoon right here on KADQ FM 98.3. And again, you can watch all the games and matches live at kadqradio.com. And in fact, one of the things I want to mention tonight is tonight's game brought to you, and the broadcast brought to you, the live streaming video brought to you in part by our Hotshot Cam sponsors, Perry Brothers Trucking and Ellingford Brothers Incorporated. And without those sponsors, boy, we wouldn't, and all of our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to do much of this online streaming. And we also want to thank those two, the Perry Brothers Trucking, the Real Hotshots, and Ellingford Brothers, offering concrete, gravel, steel, and much, much more. Tonight's broadcast is also brought to you in part by S-Bar S Trucking, Eric and Sherry South, Rocky Mountain Care, simply the best care. Our scoreboard sponsor, Western Ag Credit, has the Rebels leading 14-7 on that Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Turnovers tonight brought to you by the station in Randolph. We had just one turnover in that first half, and it was an interception by Coy Brown of the Rebels. Also, tonight's tonight's game brought to you in part by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl, the First Down sponsor. And kickoffs brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. And if you heard our game day predictions prior to the game, during our pregame, talked with Brent at Stacy's Repair, and Brent said, I think the Rebels can win if they can keep their turnovers under control. I'm going to knock on as much wood as I can right now, but the Rebels have not turned the ball over. They turned it over. No, they didn't turn it over on downs either. That was the Cowboys. So the Rebels so far have not turned the football over, and they lead 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Brent, so far, your prediction is right on the money. We'll see if the Rebels can keep it going here in the second half. You've been listening to the halftime show here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at kadqradio.com. We got third quarter action coming up and a kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Joseph Layson lined up. If you're online at kadqradio.com, you see he kicks left to right, and there's the Stacy's Repair kickoff to this near side. It's fielded at the 18 on the run, trying to pick his way forward across the 25 to the 30, and then wrapped up and pushed back, and back he goes. That's Lane Anderson, as he had a little bit of a lane initially, but the Rebels just collapsed in on him and pushed him back. And so the Rebels able to push him back, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. They're going to say he got out to the 30-yard line. So the Cowboys are 1st and 10 from their own 30. Just underway here in the third quarter. Rebels with the lead, 14-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Here's that pistol formation with 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Cowboys going right to left. Block and give up the middle to Foster. He finds his way forward to the 35, and then a bunch of Rebels bring him, wrap him up, and push him back. But forward progress, they're going to say he got almost out to the 37-yard line, and a 7-yard gain for Aaron Foster, who had, let's see, I'm just trying to do some math real quick, 57 yards in the first half on 7 carries, but most of those came on a 47-yard run in the first quarter. Here's 2nd down and 3 for the Cowboys. Again, the quick give to Foster, trying to bounce it out to the far side. And the ball's on the ground. The Rebels are on top of it. I believe the Rebels are going to come up with the turnover. It looked like they had it, and the signal from the official is that the Rebels have the football. Foster fumbles it away, and it's another turnover brought to you by the station in Randolph, and the Rebels will take over in Cowboy territory with great field position.
And the Rebels have the ball at the
and that is what we wanted to see right there. Rebels from the Cowboy 39-yard line with 11:05 left in the third quarter. Here's the snap. Jarman gives up the middle, and Grohl finds a little bit of room, and then he's just hammered and pushed back. And he does pick up about 3 to the 39-yard line, a short 3 yards for Grohl, who had just 3 carries. Oh, my mistake. That was Chalice Myers with the carry. He picks up 3. Myers had 47 rushing yards in the first half. Grohl had 3 carries for 18 yards in the first half. It's 2nd down and 7 for the Rebels. They'll come out with 3 in the backfield. Grohl, Leifson, and Saby. And here's the snap. Fake the handoff. Jarman going to the far side. Some room to run. Cuts back inside. Breaks a tackle. The 30, the 25. A little room to run inside the 20. Wrapped up right near the goal line. He's finally brought down inside the 5. From the 36 all the way down to the 1-yard line. It's a 35-yard run. And a Rebel first down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. And just a few minutes ago, I was saying how Jarman had only had 2 carries for 4 yards in the entire first half after 113 yards rushing last week against Monticello. Then he rips off that 35-yard run on an option play, and it's 1st and goal right on the goal line for the Rebels. Here's the snap. Jarman gives to, and that'll make it 20-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Myers with the 1-yard touchdown run. And the Rebels get great field position, go 39 yards in 3 plays. And Chalice Myers caps it off with a 1-yard touchdown run. See what the Rebels elect to do here, if they're going to come out and go for 2 or just kick the extra point. 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Rebels extend their lead. They led 14-7 at the half on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. They're going to go for 2 here. Myers, Grohl, and Saby in the backfield. Jarman up under center, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, going to his left. Quick pitch out there to Myers, cuts inside, pushes forward. Good strong run. Myers is in. And the Rebels make it a 15-point game. It's 22-6. We are right now. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise.
Randolph, and they make it 22-7. Joseph Leifson to kick off here. A Stacy's Repair in Woodruff kickoff for the Rich High Rebels. 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Here's the kickoff by Leifson. It's a low line drive bouncing kick, and it'll bounce out of bounds about the 10-yard line, and that'll make the flag fly. Rebels in that first half had 2 penalties for 15 yards. Cowboys had 3 penalties for 35 yards. So the Rebels winning in that department as well. And so with the ball going out of bounds about the 10-yard line, they're going to mark it out at the 35, which is where the Cowboys will take over 1st and 10. They started that last drive from their own 30, went 2 plays and fumbled on the second play. No time runs off the clock, so 10 minutes left in the third quarter. And again, Rebels lead 22-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard as the Cowboys come out, lined up again in that pistol. 2 receivers out wide to each side, and Foster in the backfield. in the pistol. Here's Terry, back to throw, throwing over the middle, and a lot of contact. That's going to be a pass interference. Saby trying to reach in there and knock the ball away from Connor Jackman, but Saby got that backside arm in there, and it's a pass interference. So you see the official. If you're watching online at kadqradio.com, you can see the official coming over to say pass interference on the defense. It's a 15-yard penalty, so that puts them from the 35 out to the 50. And the Rebels now with 30 yards in penalties on 3 penalties. First down right at midfield for the Cowboys. 9:54 left, third quarter. Here's Terry. Long count. Foster behind him. Here's the snap. High snap. Terry goes to get it. Now the throw. Quick button hook route. The catch is made. Spin move and a tackle now at the 45, or the 30, the 40-yard line rather. Leifson was there. Jarman and Wyatt Clark in there to help out as well. But that's an 11-yard pass for Merrill Terry. And the pass, I believe, was to Hayden Jones. Jones out here to the near side in the slot. Here's Terry from the 39-yard line of the Rebels. First down and 10 for the Cowboys. Here's the snap. Fake the handoff. Terry's got some pressure on him. Saby's going to bring him down. He chased him down and brought him down clear back at the 46. And I'm not sure if Coach Orton back here wanted a horse collar tackle. But that'll be a loss of 7 yards, and Saby gets the sack. Big play there for the Rebels. We'll make it second down and 17. Just got update. Rich High Rebels volleyball. The Lady Rebels in action tonight. Lost to Cokeville in 4 sets. So a tough loss for the Lady Rebels tonight, but they're back at it tomorrow at Altamont. We'll have the match for you at 12:30. 12:10 pregame and 12:30 first serve. Now we're going to have a timeout for the Cowboys. 8:45 left in the third quarter. Rebels lead 22-7, and the Cowboys have a second and long when we come back on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Welcome back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM and online at kadqradio.com. Rebels with the lead 22-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, and a big sack by Cash Saby puts the Cowboys back to a second down and 17 at the Rebel 46-yard line. 3 receivers to the near side. Terry in the shotgun once again with Foster in the pistol formation. Man in motion now. The throw to that man over the middle. He makes the catch at the 40. The original line of scrimmage. He'll be wrapped up and brought down about the 35, 34. That's the catch is made by number 89, and that is Brandon Southwick. He went in motion and then went over the middle and made that catch. That's a nice play. Brings up a third and a long 3. It was a gain of about 12. And Terry, again, comes up to the line of scrimmage. A third, and we'll just call it 4 here. Terry in the shotgun. And a long count, Rebels jump. As the Rebels a little too anxious on that one. That'll give the Cowboys a free first down. And the second penalty of the half for the Rebels. So that should be a first down at the Rebel 28-yard line for the Kanab Cowboys. And I imagine they'll just come out and run the same play that they had planned to run before that encroachment by the Rebels. 22-7, Rebels lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 8 minutes left, third quarter. And the Rebels scored first in this second half, but the Cowboys putting together a drive here. Terry with two receivers out to each side. Here's the snap. Again, it was a long count. Now he's throwing. It's tipped and picked off. Wyatt Clark has it at the 30 to the 35. He's wrapped up and brought down at the 39, the 40-yard line. And another interception by the Rebels. That's the second of the day and the third turnover of the day, brought to you by the station in Randolph. And so far, that has been one of the major differences in this game. Knock on wood, the Rebels have yet to turn it over. And my mistake, Che, it was Isaac Hopkins who came up with the interception. And the Rebels will take over 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. And 7:41 left here in the third quarter. Jarman hands it off up the middle. A flag flies as Saby pushes forward and gets close to a first down near midfield. And I think we're going to have a holding penalty back near the line of scrimmage at the 40. And we'll see what this is. Jarman comes over to speak with the officials, find out what the call is going to be, and go tell his team. And now, yeah, there they go. They're backing up. This is going to be on the Rebels. So they are starting to hurt themselves a little bit with penalties. They had 2 penalties for 15 yards in the first half. And so far, this is penalty number 3. We had 2 penalties on the Rebels. We had an illegal shift, which was declined, and then we had a hold, which was accepted. The hold is worth more than the illegal shift. It's a 5 versus 10 yards, so the Cowboys will take the 10-yard penalty, and that'll march the Rebels back to the 30-yard line for a 1st and 20. And really, if you count the yards that Saby picked up on that first down play, he picked up about 9 yards, so that's almost more like a 19-yard penalty, as it's 1st and 20 now instead of 2nd and 1. And now Coach Brown will take a timeout. We'll take a quick one as well. It's 22-7. Rebels with the lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 7:36 left here in the third quarter. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Hunters, you could win a $3,000 gift certificate to Sports World by winning first place in the Big Buck contest. Sports World certificates for second and third place, too. Stop by Castle Rock Chevrolet for details. Before you head to the hills, have Castle Rock change your oil and give your vehicle a multi-point inspection. And when you're hunting for a new car or truck, then stock the lot at Castle Rock.
We're Castle Rock.
A $3,000 prize for first place, the Big Buck contest at Castle Rock Chevrolet. CastleRockChevy.com.
1st and 20 for the Rebels after that hold penalty, back at their own 30-yard line. And Wallenstein out wide to the far side. Here's the snap. Jarman fakes the handoff. Now he's throwing for Wallenstein down the far sideline. Wallenstein has his man beat, and he just can't get to it. Out. Clear down about the 30. That would have been a 40-yard play. You see the arm by Jarman. He just launched that one 30 or 40, about 45 yards through the air, but just overthrows Wallenstein. And I'll tell you, Wallenstein had his man beat. So that's a tough one right there. But the Rebels now have a 2nd down and 20. Boy, that would have been a 1st down and a lot more. Rebels got the ball back just moments ago. A turnover brought to you by the station in Randolph. It was an interception as Isaac Hopkins tipped it into the air and then intercepted the pass attempt by Merrill Terry. Here's 2nd and 20 for the Rebels. Give to Ben Grohl. No. Jarman kept it. Pitched it outside to Leifson. Leifson picking his way forward, and he's not going to get much. A football is on the ground, and the Cowboys have it. Oh, the Cowboys come up with a big one there. And I said it too many times, I think, or didn't knock on enough wood, as the Rebels turn it over for the first time tonight right there. And the Cowboys will take over. 1st and 10 from the Rebel 30, just outside the 31-yard line. This is by far the best field position they've had today. 7:21 left in the third quarter. Rebels lead 22-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. This is, I think, the first time the Cowboys have had it in Rebel territory, or to start a possession anyways. Here's a quick pass out to this near side to number 13. It's completed And that's Luke Crosby, who picks his way forward, finds a nice block at the 25, and gets down to about the 22. It's a 9-yard gain. It'll be about a yard short. Yeah, just a yard short of the first down. Dakota Clark came out to make the tackle and the stop, but it'll be second and short for the Cowboys. Rebels lead 22-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, 6:50 left in the third quarter. But the Cowboys deep in the Rebel territory after that fumble by Rich High. Here's Terry on a 2nd and 1 with 2 receivers here to this near side, 2 out to the far side. Terry back to throw, looking, throwing for the end zone, and picked off by Lakeson. No! Ball hit the ground. He couldn't quite get underneath it, but a good defensive effort, and the pass will be incomplete. Bring up a 3rd and 1 for the Cowboys. That would have been interception number 3 on the night for Terry. If Lakeson had been able to get his feet underneath him, he slipped down, and then he couldn't get back close enough to make that interception. 6:33 left third quarter. Rebels lead 22-7 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. It's 3rd and short for the Cowboys, who are surely in 4-down territory at the Rebel 22-yard line. Here's Terry from the pistol. Long count. Now he takes the snap. Quick throw again, and it's tipped. Oh! Clark couldn't find it. If he'd have found it, that would have been another pick. But Rebels get that good penetration, and I tell you, it really helps to have those high, tall players like Skylar Argyle out on the defensive end position. Now, Grohl is a little bit slow to get up, but then gets up on his own power. He doesn't want to go back off the field. Oh, no, that's not Grohl. I thought it was Ben Grohl, but it was Jacob Terry who was a bit slow to get up, and now he'll jog off the field for a play or two at least. But Argyle, was it Argyle or Jarman that made the tipped that ball into the air? I think it was Jarman here on this near side. Got some decent penetration from this defensive end position. Those two guys, probably more skinny and tall than what you'd used to be seeing at defensive end, but they get in there, they get their hands up, and they tip passes, and like what we just saw. Here's 4th and 1 for the Cowboys, going for it at the Rebel 22. Long count, Terry takes the snap, again looking to throw. Nothing there. Now he's going to throw out to the far side. He's got his man at the 15, to the 10. Makes one tackler miss to the 5. Touchdown. And Chad Southwick on 4th and 1 makes, there was a short pass and catch, but Southwick goes for the touchdown. It'll go in the books as a 22-yard touchdown pass from Merrill Terry to Chad Southwick. And now the Cowboys will line up to, it looks like they're going to go for 2. And that would make sense because the Rebels went for 2 and converted that last time they scored. Actually, the last 2 times they scored. So it's 22-13. Cowboys for homecoming night got some fireworks. You hear that boom right there as the fireworks go off, or a firework. And yeah, the Cowboys will line up to go for 2 here, trailing 22-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 6:19 left to go in the third quarter. Terry, long count, now takes the snap, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. Pressure comes, Saby brings him down. The ball is loose. The Rebels fall on it. And that keeps this at a 2-score game. It's 22-13. Rebels with the lead after that failed 2-point conversion attempt by the Cowboys. 6:19 left to go, third quarter. Rebels lead 22-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And we're going to keep it right here for now. The Rebels, that's a huge defensive play right there, and it could make all the difference in this one depending on how things go over the next quarter and a half. But that failed 2-point conversion attempt, if they convert that, it makes it, they would have made it 22-15. It would have been a 7-point ball game. If they'd have kicked the extra point, it would have been a 2-point game, and they would have had to make a 2-point conversion later on. But since they failed on that, the Cowboys would now have to get 2 scores to regain the lead. They led 7-0 early, and then 7-6 after the Rebels failed on their 2-point conversion attempt in the first quarter. But then the Rebels got a couple of 2-point conversion attempts completed, and they lead 22-13. So that's our situation right here. Now we've still got a quarter and a half to play, so I may be getting ahead of myself a little bit, over-analyzing that 2-point conversion attempt, but it could turn out to be huge. We'll have to see. Well, here's a kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Leifson and Saby back to receive. It's a nice high kick. Saby will come up to the 15 and field it across the 20, 25. met by a gang of Cowboys at the 30, and that's where the Rebels will start. 1st and 10 on this possession. 6 minutes, 13 seconds left in the third quarter. We've had a lot of possessions here in the first almost 6 minutes of this first quarter, or this third quarter. Cowboys had it first. They fumbled. Rebels got it back, and they scored a touchdown. Cowboys got it, threw an interception. Rebels got it, fumbled it away. Cowboys got it back. They went 4 plays, 31 yards, and finished it with a 22-yard touchdown pass. Rebels line up, 1st and 10. Here's the snap. They give going up the middle to Myers, I believe. Myers, not a lot of room to run, but he'll pick up a few out to about the 35. And actually, Rebels started from their own 31-yard line, so Myers' gain of 4 puts it at the 35-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Rebels. They come out with 3 in the backfield, and Wallenstein to this near side, the short side of the field, as the football's on that near side hash. Here's the snap, give to Myers again. He had some room to run. He's just tripped up, though, and brought down about the 39. He'll be a yard and a half, maybe 2 yards short of the first down. Tackle made there by number 77, Nate Bowman, who just got Myers' shoestrings and tripped him up enough to make it just a 4-yard gain. So Rebels with a 3rd and 2 here. Content to take some time. We're down to 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Rebels leading 22-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Caden Bartolome to this near side now. It's the short side of the field, 3 in the backfield. Jarman, he's going to keep this one himself. He's pushed back, but then he makes a second effort, spins and dives backward, and he's got the first down at the 41, almost the 42-yard line. Jarman, a great carry. We'll give him 3 yards, and it's a first down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl as the Rebels move the chains out to the 42-yard line. And I'll tell you, they, from here on out, would be content to pick up 4, 4, and 3 all the way down the field and eat up the rest of this third quarter clock. Jarman takes the snap. Here's the give. Saby breaks the tackle. It's off to the races now to the 40, to the 35, the 30, to the 21 man to beat, and he is going to beat him. Touchdown, Rebels. Wow. Cash Saby with a 58-yard touchdown run breaks it wide open. Just as I'm talking about the Rebels eating up some clock, Saby breaks it out for 58 yards and a touchdown. And suddenly it's 28-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And now Layson will line up to kick this one in, try to kick the extra point here. Jarman will go down to hold. Here's the snap. It's high. Jarman goes up and gets it. Hold is good, and the kick is up and good. Great job by Jarman to go up, bring it down, and get the hold down. Leifson kicks it through, and it's 29-13. Rebels with the lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard here in third quarter action. Rebels pouring it on a little bit there, and Saby well over 100. He's close to 150 yards rushing now with that 58-yard touchdown run. And we've seen some big touchdown runs so far this season. Joseph Leifson had one earlier. McKay Jarman's had one or two, and now that big one by Cash Saby. And he broke a couple of tackles on his way to get there. That was quite a run by Saby. The Rebels not doing anything fancy. It's just that 3 in the backfield. You hand it off up the middle to Saby, and he takes it 58 yards. Rebels now lead 29-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And we've got 4 minutes, 19 seconds left in this third quarter as we line up for another kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Leifson kicks it off, gets off a better one. This one, a line drive, get a little bit of air underneath it, fielded at the 10. Coming across the 20 to the 25 and hammered. Big hit there by the Rebels. And a late flag flies in. The tackle, I believe, for the Rebels made by Porter Argyle. Dakota Clark in there on the tackle as well. We'll see what this flag is. I'm not sure. The Rebels were celebrating a bit. I'm hoping it's not a unsportsmanlike conduct. It's going to be against the Rebels. And instead of a 1st and 10 for the Cowboys right around the 25, it's going to put them out at the 42-yard line. 4 minutes, 12 seconds left in the third quarter, and the Cowboys have it. I believe it was a unsportsmanlike conduct on the Rebels. Too much celebration, I would guess. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. 3 receivers to this near side. Here's the snap and the gift to Foster, and initially there was a hole, but somehow Argyle, was that Argyle that got over there? No, it was not. It was not Argyle. It was Isaac Hopkins who shot between defenders, wrapped up Foster, and brought him down. It's a 2-yard loss. And that play, Foster had a carry on that same play of 47 yards in the first quarter, but he's been bottled up since then, including a fumble earlier here in this third quarter. It's 2nd and 12 for the Cowboys from their own 40-yard line. Here's the snap. Terry back looking to throw. Throws out to the far side and through the hands of his intended receiver, Chad Southwick. So another incompletion for Terry, who's thrown the ball pretty well today. A couple of touchdowns, but a couple of interceptions to go with that. Cowboys have really turned to the passing game as the Rebel defense has kind of bottled up that running game. As I was saying earlier, they've bottled up Foster, and the Cowboys haven't had a lot of success on the ground, and down by 3 scores now. They're trying to get to that passing game. It's 3rd and 12. 2 receivers out wide to each side. Here's Terry. Steps back. Jarman with the pressure. Terry gets away from it. Now more pressure. Gets away from one more, and then he'll be wrapped up by 2, then hitting it hard and brought down. Myers in there. It was, I think, Wyatt Clark and Jarman who came back with some more hustle. Also in on the tackle was Jacob Terry for the Rebels, and it's a loss of about 3 for Merrill Terry. We'll say a loss of 2. They mark it back at the 38-yard line, and that'll bring up a 4th down and 14 for the Cowboys. A sure punting situation here in their own territory. Jarman, that's Mitch Jarman and Joseph Leifson back about the 35 to receive this punt. And we better watch out for a fake again here. We saw one earlier. Hayden Jones ran for it, but this one's a bit longer that he would need to run. It's a high snap again, and Jones is going to punt it this time. Not a good punt. It goes out of bounds, bounces on the track, and they got a generous spot there. They mark it at the Rebel 49. I think it went out of bounds more about the 35 or the 40, maybe the 45, but regardless, looks like they are going to mark it about the 45 of the Cowboys. So not a good punt for the Cowboys, and the Rebels will take over with great field position at the Cowboy 45. 2:29 left in the third quarter. Rebels with the lead, 29-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, and a 3 and out for the Cowboys. Just what the Rebels wanted. See what they do here. At 3 in the backfield. Here's the snap. Give to Leifson. Tripped up. He puts a hand down and dives forward for an extra couple yards after that initial hit. And picks up, give him 2.5, 3 yards to the 42. So Leifson with 3 yards brings up a 2nd and a long 7 for the Rebels. So Leifson in the backfield once again, along with it looks like Grohl and Saby, and now the Rebels with a hard count. They get some movement on the front line of the Cowboys, and that should be 5 free yards for Rich High. Yeah, they're going to march it off, and that's the first penalty of the second half for the Cowboys. Rebels leading 29-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 1:50 left in this third quarter. Rebels with 3 in the backfield. Wallenstein out here to the near side. Ball about right in the middle of the field. Here's a snap, give to Myers, picking his way forward, dancing right, left, and wrapped up and brought down by Aaron Foster. But Myers picks up. What did he get? Picks up about 8 yards and a first down at the 28-yard line. And now a timeout on the field. Bucky Orton going to take a quick timeout. With 1:41 left in the third quarter, 29-13. Rebels with the lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. We're going to take one timeout as well. We'll be right back. You're listening to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth or want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is endodontist Les Walker inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
29-13 Rebels with the lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard and with the football in Cowboy territory. Rebels putting together a bit of a drive here as their running game is really coming together in this football game, and they're holding on to the football. Here's the snap, give up the middle to Ben Grohl, just running with dragging guys inside the 20, and the ball pops loose. And is it going to be Cowboy football? I think it is. Oh, man. Grohl, his progression looked like it had been stopped, but the whistle had not been blown yet. The ball pops free, and the officials will discuss. Nope, no discussion. It's Cowboy football. Rebels' second turnover of the football game. And that's their second fumble. Both turnovers have been fumbles. Too bad. Grohl had about a almost 15, maybe 20-yard carry going there before he fumbled it away. And Cowboys' opportunistic defense will take it over from their own 10-yard line. First and 10. Trips out to this near side. And Terry, long count, takes the snap, looking. Now he's going to run. Wrapped up, but he breaks a tackle. Bows across the 10 to about the 13 before he's brought down by Chalice Myers, I believe, in on the tackle. 1:22 left on the third quarter clock. And Rebels leading 29-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. It's about a 3-yard gain for Terry. Bring up a second down and 7. And they'll come out again with trips to this near side. 3 receivers, 1 out to the far side. Terry steps back, looking to the far side. Now rolling to his right. Throws downfield and coming back. He can't quite get underneath it. Good effort by Connor Jackmoney, but he couldn't make the catch. And it's incomplete. And we'll bring up a third down and 7 for the Cowboys. Rebels with the lead, 29-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And we're down, getting down to the final seconds of the third quarter. 49 seconds left here in this third quarter. And Rebels, boy, they've really gotten the running offense going. They've scored, actually, they trailed 7-0. They've outscored the Cowboys 29-6 since that point early in the second quarter. Here's Terry, back to throw on 3rd and 7. Throwing out. He's got his man. It's caught at the 20 to the 25, a first down and more as the pass was completed to number 21, Chad Southwick. So all the way from the 14 out to about the 26, 27-yard line, a 14-yard pass by Terry. Who will bring his offense back up to the line of scrimmage. They need 3 scores to get back on top in this one. 25 seconds left in this third quarter. The throw out here to the near side to the other Southwick, and Brandon Southwick able to almost elude one tackler. He makes the catch. It's a minimal gain, a yard, maybe 2, out to the 29-yard line. say a 2-yard gain. Leifson makes the tackle out there. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. That wraps up the third quarter action here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com. Fourth quarter is coming up on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Rebels lead 29-13. And stay tuned. Fourth quarter is coming up. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ 98.3 FM and watch it online at KADQradio.com.
Throughout our lives, there are times we may need skilled rehabilitation and nursing care or home health and hospice care. Rocky Mountain Care has been providing these services since 1990. Our skilled staff and specialized programs will meet your loved one's needs. Our staff is dedicated to a high-quality outcome for each of our patients and residents. When you or someone you love needs these professional services, think of Rocky Mountain Care. Simply the best care. www.rmcare.com.
29-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Rebels with the lead over the Kanab Cowboys here at Kanab at the Arlen Hafen Stadium. Rebels trailed 7-0 early, and then they scored 22 unanswered points before the Cowboys scored a touchdown, and then the Rebels scored on their 2 possessions ago. A 58-yard touchdown run by Cash Saby made it 29-13. Cowboys right now with a 2nd and 8. From their own 29-yard line. Pistol formation, 2 receivers out to each side. Long count, and I think a Cowboy jumped first. We got a lot of movement. The Cowboys just trying to make those long counts and trying to get some free yards, but it backfires on them. Illegal procedure, and they're going to go back 5 yards. That's just their 5th penalty of the game. 45 yards in penalties. Fourth quarter action just about to get underway here after that penalty. Rebels lead 29-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And tonight's game also brought to you in part by S-Bar S Trucking, Eric and Sherry South. As the Cowboys line up for a 2nd and 13 from their own 24-yard line now. Here's the snap. Terry back looking to throw, looking over the middle, and the only one there. Oh, Wallenstein was there, but he couldn't get over to it. I don't think he actually saw the ball. Connor Jackman was the intended receiver, and I thought Wallenstein would have a play on it, but I don't think he saw the football, and it falls incomplete for Merrill Terry. Terry was 5 of 10 passing in the first half, 50 yards. He had a touchdown and 1 interception here in the second half. In that third quarter alone, he attempted 10 passes and completed 7 of them, or 6 of them rather, 1 for a touchdown and also 1 more interception. That incompletion there. We also had a penalty on the play. And I missed what the call was on that penalty. It was against the Rebels, 10 yards. And so it makes it a 2nd and 4 now instead of a 3rd and 14 for the Cowboys. 2 receivers split out to each side. Snap, going back to throw. Terry looking, throws, almost picked off by Wyatt Clark. Stepped in there and just went through his fingertips. Pass was intended for Hayden Jones. And Terry didn't quite lead Jones enough, and that enabled Clark to come in and tip it away. Almost picked it off, but not quite. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Cowboys. Rebels lead 29-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 11:46 left to go in the ball game. And the Cowboys trying to climb back into this one. 2 receivers out wide to each side. Terry in the backfield. Shotgun formation with the pistol with Foster behind him. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. Across the 40, the 45. Wrapped up. He's got the first down and more at midfield. And that's going to be a 15-yard gain for Terry. And he has been successful running the football for the most part tonight. He's been sacked a bunch of times. Rebels have had some good penetration in the backfield, but when Terry runs, he's gone for 29, 26, 9, 15, 13, and 15. When it's designed running play, he's picking up some yards. He picks up 15 there, and it's 1st and 10 for the Cowboys at midfield. Right out there in front of you, if you're watching at KADQradio.com, Cowboys going left to right. That's north to south. Here's Terry, back to throw. Big pressure comes from Jarman, and he's forced to release it early. leads his man too far. Luke Crosby, the intended receiver, and it's incomplete, and that's what that pressure in the backfield will do. And I'll tell you, Jarman also forced Terry to throw the pass, change his delivery, and throw it to a spot he didn't want to throw it. Jarman was right in the passing lane that Terry was looking for, and because of that, Terry had to lead Crosby too far, which forced that incomplete pass. There's that pressure by the Rebels. 2nd down and 10 at midfield for the Cowboys. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the far side. Ball on the near side hash. And here's the snap. Terry back again, looking to throw. Pressure comes. He's pushed out of the pocket, throwing down the sideline, and now he'll be wrapped up and pushed out of bounds by Skylar Argyle. It's a loss of 5 back at the 45-yard line. And Argyle, real smart play by the senior there. He wrapped up Terry out of bounds. As soon as he heard the whistle and knew they were out of bounds, he just let up, let go of Terry, who loses 4 on the play. Argyle knew that the last thing the Rebels need right now is a personal foul, late hit type of penalty, and he just wisely let go. So it'll be 3rd down and 14. They'll say a loss of 4 back to the Cowboys' 46-yard line. They'll send 2 receivers out to the far side, 2 in tight on this near side, the short side of the field. Now those 2 will switch places. It's Southwick, and now Southwick goes in motion. Terry going, pressure coming. He's going to throw. It's tipped into the air again, and Jarman got the tip. The ball falls incomplete. That is at least the 5th or 6th tip the Rebel defense has had tonight. They are getting their hands up in the air. If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up, and that's what they have done extremely well tonight. The ball falls in. The pass falls incomplete, which will bring up a 4th and 14. And at this point, with 10:55 left in the football game, Rebels leading 29-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. This is almost 4 down time and territory for the Cowboys. And I think that's what Bucky Orton is thinking about as he takes a timeout. Rebels lead 29-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 10:55 left to go. We're going to take a quick timeout as well. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Welcome back to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at kadqradio.com. Rebels with the lead, 29-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, leading by 3 scores. Cowboys with it, a 4th and 14 from their own 46-yard line. Got the word earlier tonight, Rich Rebel volleyball team lost in 4 sets to Cokeville. Rebels will be back on the court tomorrow afternoon at Altamont. We'll have it for you pregame at 12:10 and first serve at 12:30. Here's 4th and 14. Cowboys going to go for it just like I thought with 10:55 left to go. They need 3 scores. Terry back, looking to throw. Looking, pressure comes. He gets away from it, throws downfield. It's knocked away, and the Rebels will take it over on downs. Chalice Myers gets in there and knocks the pass away. It would have been short even if it had been completed, and the Rebels force a turnover on downs, and that is as good as a turnover. Brought to you by the station in Randolph. Rebels will take it over, 1st and 10 from the Cowboy 46-yard line. And it's another great field position for the Rebels. And this cannot be understated. The Rebels win the field position battle. In the games they've won this year, they have won that field position battle, and they're winning it tonight without a doubt. This is their 3rd or 4th possession. I'd have to look at my stats, but this is their 3rd or 4th possession where they've started in Cowboy territory. Here's the snap. Myers, a lot of room up the middle, inside the 40 to the 35, wrapped up and brought down at the 34-yard line. Myers picks up, Saby picks up 12, and it's a 1st down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. And boy, the momentum really with the Rebels right now as they have the lead, 29-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, and their offense is rolling. Offensive line blocking great. It's like a machine. Here's the give to Saby again. Same play. Breaks a tackle inside the 25, inside the 20 to the 19. No, they're going to mark it right at the 20-yard line. I'll tell you, Saby met up with Davin Houston, and Houston was knocked back, did a backward somersault on that play. You may have seen it if you're watching online at kadqradio.com. That was a hit Saby delivered carrying the football. He picks up another first down, brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl, and that's a 14-yard gain by Saby, who's getting close to 200 yards on the ground here tonight. 10 minutes left to go in this one. Rebels come up 1st and 10. Here's the snap. Give to Leifson off the right side. Skips through a couple tacklers inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. So Leifson a good carry. And Leifson will give him 6 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short, 2nd and 4 for the Rebels, leading 29-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 9.5 left to go in the ball game. Wallenstein out wide to the far side. Rebels with 3 in the backfield. Saby, Leifson, and Grohl. Here's the snap. Give to Saby going to the far side, and he's tripped up, dives forward, rolls down to the 10. They're going to mark him down about the 12, and he'll be a couple of yards short of the first down. So Saby with a gain of 2. That's his shortest carry of the night. As I mentioned, he's right around 175 rushing yards tonight, including a 58-yard touchdown and an 18-yard touchdown run. 29-13 Rebels with the lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, knocking on the door once again down at the 10-yard or the 12-yard line, a 3rd down and 2. Give to Saby, hesitation, looks for the hole, then hits it inside the 10, still pushing and churning those feet. He's down to the 8-yard line, and that should be a first down. It is. It's a gain of 4 for Saby, and a first down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Rebels now with a 1st and goal at the 8-yard line with under 8.5 to play. 29-13. Rebels with the lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And as I mentioned, we're down to 8 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. Wallenstein out to the far side. Rebels, they have found this formation has been extremely successful. 3 in the backfield, 1 out wide to the right. Skylar Argyle, the tight end, on the left side. Here's the snap. Jarman running the option. Pitchman is covered, so he's going to try and spin and just dive forward. He'll pick up a couple to about the 6-yard line. They have had some success on the option play. Not a lot there. It's a gain of just 2 for Jarman, who now has 5 carries for about 40 yards. And it'll be 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line for the Rich Rebels. We'll have Grohl, Saby, and Leifson again in the backfield. This time Bartlome out to the far side. Ball close to that far side hash. Rebels going right to left from our view. If you're watching online at kadqradio.com, that's south to north. 7:30 left to go. Jarman takes the snap. Give to Saby, going left side, breaks 1 tackle, stumbles forward and dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Rebels. Makes it 35-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. I'm looking to make sure there are no flags. I don't see any. And the Rebels extend the lead. Cash Saby, his 3rd touchdown of the night. This one, a 6-yard touchdown run. He's got others of 18 and 58. And the Rebels are up big now, 35-13 with 7:27 left to go on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Here's the extra point attempt by Leifson. It's a real high kick, and it does not quite have the distance. The snap was low, and Jarman had a hard time getting the hold down, which may have played into it. But regardless, the Rebels lead by 3 touchdowns. It's 35-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 7:27 left to go. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3 and watch it online at kadqradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Cash Saby with 185 yards rushing is what, some quick math. He's right around 185 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns tonight. Picked up his third just moments ago with a 6-yard touchdown run. Now here's a kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Getting a lot of kickoffs tonight. Quick fielding by at the 30-yard line by Southwick. Brandon Southwick not able to find much return room as the Rebels get out here. And it looked like Porter Argyle helped in on the tackle there. Wyatt Clark and Mitch Jarman out here as well. But it's good field position on the short kick by Leifson. At kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff, and the Cowboys will take over from their own 39-yard line. Homecoming here in Cowboy Country at Kanab High School. 7:22 left here in the fourth quarter, and the Rebels playing spoiler right now, leading 35-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard with 7:22 left to go in the football game. Cowboys with a 1st and 10, needing 3 touchdowns just to get back into it. Terry in the shotgun takes the snap, and they're going to go back to the running game. Foster handoff wrapped up immediately by Hopkins, and then wrapped up by Myers and Saby and pushed back. Hopkins slowed him down, and he gets nowhere. So a great defensive effort. The Rebel defense, no gain. They're going to say Hopkins got back to the line of scrimmage. Or Foster. I called him Hopkins. Foster, no gain on the play. Foster had 7 carries, 57 yards in the first half. He's got 4 carries for 5 yards and a fumble in this second half. That's what that Rebel defense has done with the running game in the second half, running game of the Cowboys. 2nd down and 10 for the Cowboys. 2 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. Here's the snap. Terry back to throw. Throws and way overthrows his man, Brandon Southwick. Not sure. I think it looked like Terry was thinking 10-yard button hook. Southwick was thinking 5-yard. And the ball is thrown long and incomplete. And that is six straight incompletions for Merrill Terry in the passing game for the Cowboys. And actually, he's missed on 8 of his last 10 attempts. 6:30 left to go. 35-13. Rebels lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Terry on 3rd and 10. Cowboys from their own 39-yard line. Here's the snap. Terry steps back. Pressure comes. He's going to try to run away. He can't get away. Wyatt Clark wraps him up and just pulls him back. And who else was right there on that tackle? Oh, that's Hopkins in there once again for the Rebels. Isaac Hopkins picks up another sack. They're going to bring Terry down back at the 34. It's a loss of 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 15. And the Kanab Cowboys are going to punt. 6 minutes left to go. Rebels with the lead, 35-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And now Leifson and Mitch Jarman come up looking for the fake punt attempt. But the Cowboys are going to punt this one away. Rebels content to just let it bounce where it will bounce. Takes a nice Cowboy hop inside. It bounced about the 35-yard line and all the way down to about the 15 is where it's finally down. Actually, inside the 15-yard line. So that ends up being a real nice punt of about, 45, maybe 50 yards for the Cowboys. And Rich High will take over from their own, we'll say the 15-yard line. It's just inside the 15. We're going to have to say the 14. Rebels leading 35-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 5 minutes, 39 seconds left to go. Rebels line up with 3 in the backfield. Here's Jarman. The snap, give to this near side. Saby breaks some tackles, and he's going to take it. If no one will catch him, it's a foot race to the 40, to the 30, and it looks like he'll be caught from behind by Merrill Terry. But Saby runs all the way from the 15 to the 25-yard line. Oh, my goodness. That's a huge play. They're going to mark him down at the 25, which would be, well, do the quick math. From the 15 to the 50 would be 35 yards, plus 25 on top of that. A 60-yard run by Cash Saby to the 25-yard line. Saby suddenly up around 250 yards rushing tonight. 60 yards on that carry by Saby. The Rebels have a knack for when they're trying to run the clock out, Saby or Leifson or whoever breaks a big run. Merrill Terry, the touchdown-saving tackle there. What great hustle by him. Here's the snap. Give to Leifson off the right side, and not a lot of room to run. He's just inside the 25, at the 24-yard line. Should mention that 60-yard run by Saby. Obviously, you've got a first down. Brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Leifson picks up a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. And as I mentioned, Saby close to 250 rushing yards tonight. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left in the ball game. Rebels just going to run out the clock here, maybe. It seems like every time I say that, they get a big run. But they're just going to try to run the clock out here and come away with a victory. 35-13, they lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Wallenstein out wide to the far side with 3 in the backfield, and the Rebels going to take every last second they can on that clock, on the play clock. It's Coy Brown in a quarterback now. He'll hand off again to I think it was Leifson going to that just off to the right side. Leifson will pick up a couple down to about the 22-yard line. We're going to have a couple more substitutions come in. Ben Grohl will check out. If you're watching online at kadqradio.com, you see Grohl and Argyle heading off to the sideline. Leifson picks up just a yard on that carry, and it's 3rd and 8 for the Rebels at the Cowboy 22-yard line. And they'll come out with Leifson. I believe it's Jarman. I can't quite see the numbers with my angle here, but Brown doing a nice job to watch that back judge and get the time so they can use every second on the clock. Coy Brown keeps it himself, spins away from a couple of tacklers on the option play, and gets down to about the 20, maybe the 19-yard line. So not a big gain for Brown. They're going to mark it right at the 20. He picks up 3. And the Rebels now with a 4th down and 5 with 2 minutes and 54 seconds left to play. Rebels just need to run the clock out. 35-13, they lead on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And it's been all running game, all Cash Saby all night long, close to 250 rushing yards. I'll do the math and let you know in our postgame, so stay tuned for that coming up in a couple of minutes here. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to go as Brown on a 4th and 5 takes the snap, running the option, gives it off the right side, and it's a touchdown, Rebels. Room to run, and Kyler Clark finds the space off the right side. He goes 20 yards for the score. So Kyler Clark comes in, and the Rebel JV team is even putting some points on the scoreboard. Kyler Clark, a 20-yard touchdown run, and that makes it 41-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. The Rebels are rolling here at Kanab, playing the spoiler on homecoming night for the Kanab Cowboys. Jarman and Leifson back in now to attempt the extra point kick with 2:25 left on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Boy, the Rebels just have turned it on here in the second half. They led 14-7 at halftime. The extra point is no good, but it's 41-13. The Rebels turning this one into a blowout here on KADQ-FM 98.3. It's a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football at 98.3 FM KADQ and online at kadqradio.com.
Hunters, you could win a $3,000 gift certificate to Sports World by winning first place in the Big Buck Contest. Sports World certificates for second and third place, too. Stop by Castle Rock Chevrolet for details. Before you head to the hills, have Castle Rock change your oil and give your vehicle a multi-point inspection. And when you're hunting for a new car or truck, then stock the lot at Castle Rock.
We're Castle Rock.
A $3,000 prize for first place, the Big Buck Contest at Castle Rock Chevrolet. CastleRockChevy.com.
Here, kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff here coming up in just a moment. The Rebels leading 41-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. Here's the kickoff. It's a short one, fielded at the 20 to the 25. Coming out to the 30-yard line, tripped up, and a nice tackle by Jarman. That's Mitch Jarman, who gets a shoestring of Chad Southwick to bring him down. And that kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. In our pregame predictions today, and our game day predictions, I asked Brent at Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. He said the Rebels can win if they can control their turnovers. They've controlled them tonight. They had 2 turnovers that were fumbles in the second half, but their offense has rolled, and they're going to win this one. It's 41-13, 2:19 left to go. Cowboys have it, 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. And they're going to see what they can do here. Here's the snap. Give to Southwick going in motion to the far side. A little room to run. He picks his way forward out near the 40. It'll be a gain of about 6 and bring up a 2nd and 4. Southwick was lined up as a wide receiver, went in motion from this near side to the far side, got the handoff and picked up 6. And that's about the best play the Cowboys have had in quite a while. They've been struggling as the Rebel defense has just gotten better and better and better as the night has gone on. We're under 2 minutes to play, and the Rebels lead 41-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. 2 receivers to the far side, 2 out here to this near side. And Merrill Terry in the backfield, shotgun with the pistol. Here's the snap, give to Brandon Southwick. Coming to this near, no. Terry kept it himself. Breaks it across the 50, breaks a tackle to the 45, down the sideline, cuts back inside, and a few Rebels will chase him down. Clear down about the 20-yard line. So a big gain for Terry. Fooled me with that fake handoff. And they're going to mark him down at the 19-yard line. So that is going to be a 41-yard carry for Terry. And a big first down for the Kanab Cowboys with 1:24 left to play. Looks like there was a fumble on the field, though. The ball popped loose, and did the Rebels come up with that, Tim? It is Rich football. The Rebels come up with the football, and now they can just take a knee a couple of times and run this clock out with 1:24 left to go. Coy Brown will come in and take a knee, and we're about 1 or 2 more of those away from Rich extending their winning streak to 4 straight. We're down under a minute to play, just about. Rebels leading 41-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. With the football on their own 20-yard line is about where they've got it. And for the Cowboys, that's 4 turnovers in the football game. That's one of their big downfalls today. Brown will take another knee, and I think we'll have to do it one more time. We're down to 40 seconds left in the game. 41-13 looks like will be our final score here tonight. Rebels going to make it 4 wins in a row and 2 wins in a row against 1A South Region opponents. They beat Monticello last week, a come-from-behind 20-19 victory in homecoming for the Rebels last week. And the officials, Rebels lining up to take a knee one more time, and the officials say, you're good. That's it. If you're watching online at kadqradio.com, you see the Rebels over there celebrating in their circle. They came in tonight and played spoiler in the homecoming night for the Kanab Cowboys. And the Rebels get the win 41-13. They improve to 5-1 overall this season. And a big victory here at Kanab, 41-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. That's our final score as the fourth quarter action comes to a close. Well, stay tuned. We got our post-game show coming up. The fourth quarter is over. The Rebels get to win again 41-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, and we'll be right back with our post-game show, including a visit with Coach Ashley Brown and a quick game recap. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth and want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is oral surgeon A.J. Stosich inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307 877-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Throughout our lives, there are times we may need skilled rehabilitation and nursing care or home health and hospice care. Rocky Mountain Care has been providing these services since 1990. Our skilled staff and specialized programs will meet your loved one's needs. Our staff is dedicated to a high-quality outcome for each of our patients and residents. When you or someone you love needs these professional services, think of Rocky Mountain Care. Simply the best care. www.rmcare.com.
Welcome back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ-FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com. Here's your post-game show. Welcome to the post-game show here on KADQ-FM 98.3. And, boy, what a different game than I thought it was going to be, especially after the Cowboys scored first. They made it 7-0, and then the Rebels reeled off 22 straight points before the Cowboys scored again. But then the Rebels scored the next 19 points and made it 41-13, our final score on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. And what a night for Cash Saby. 17 carries, 249 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Cash Saby. And I mentioned Cash Saby's name, but I'll tell you, the guys that also deserve a huge bit of credit for that, those guys up front, Hawken Cornea, Isaac Hopkin, Dakota Clark, and the others on the offensive line who, boy, they just opened up all kinds of big holes and made this game a blowout, really. 249 yards for Cash Saby doesn't even come close to happening without that offensive line, and they did their job tonight. Each time I talk with Coach Brown, one of the things I talk to him about is how he feels his blocking was, and I imagine as I see him making his way up here, I imagine he's going to say he was happy with the way his team blocked tonight. So we'll see. He's coming up to join us, so stay tuned here on our post-game show. We'll have an interview with Coach Ashley Brown of the Rich High Rebels. That's coming up here in just a bit. Again, on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, Rebels get the win 41-13. And the big part of that, again, Cash Saby, 17 carries, 249 yards, 3 touchdowns. And the defense came up big second half defensive stops for the Rebels who get the victory. The Cowboys really turned to the passing game, trying to get that going in the second half, and Terry struggled. Just 6 of 16 completions in the second half. So that's that Rebel defense turning up the heat. Well, stay tuned. We got Coach Ashley Brown coming up here in just a bit. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Welcome back to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ-FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com. And joining me now is Coach Ashley Brown of the Rich High Rebels. And, Coach, let's make sure that microphone is on. I don't know if I turned that on, but what a game tonight your team had. That made it worth the trip down here to Kanab.
Yeah, that's a long ways, and it definitely made it worth the trip.
How did you feel about the blocking tonight?
I thought they did an excellent job. Our backs blocked better. Our line did a great job, and it shows in our rushing yards.
You know, it seemed like there were some plays where maybe it wasn't there just right, but and on so many of those plays, giving it to Cash Saby tonight and to Leifson, and Chalice Myers had a good game running the ball as well. they'd get 5 or 6 yards up the field before they were, they'd have a big hole to run through and get up into the second level before anybody met them.
Yeah, we definitely, they were able to get to full speed before they were touched, and that definitely helps the running back. And they all ran the ball hard, and their offensive line did a great job of blocking for them.
I had Cash Saby for almost 250 rushing yards tonight, 3 touchdowns. He kept getting the ball, and he was taking advantage of it.
Yeah, he did a great job of running. He'd get hit, and he'd keep his legs going, and he broke a lot of tackles and made lots of good long runs.
Initially, the Cowboys took a 7-0 lead, and that first drive they had, they moved the ball, it seemed, fairly easily. And things that we talked earlier about, that you had to contain their quarterback. You guys did not do very well on that first drive. What adjustments did you make? Because you did contain him for much of the rest of the game.
We just had kids leaving gaps for him to run in, and we tried to tell him all week that you can't leave him a gap or he's going to take off in it. And they adjusted after that first drive and did an excellent job of containing him.
They had some success passing the ball early, but in that second half and especially the fourth quarter, he was 0 for 6. Did you guys do a lot this week practicing to get ready to contend against their passing game?
Yeah, we did a ton. We knew if we could stop number 2, we'd have a good chance of winning, and that was our main goal all week. And our kids did an excellent job with the game plan.
Is there any feeling of of guilt, or do you feel bad at all coming down to spoil Kanab's homecoming coach?
Well, that's the first time we've beaten them, so, I don't feel too bad.
It definitely made it worth the long trip down here from the top end of the state to the very bottom end, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
So, and do you feel like, so next week is a big one, right? Next week's Duchesne, at Duchesne.
Yep, so we got another tough road game and against a team that hasn't lost in 3.5 years, so our kids will be excited, and we hope it's a great game.
Do you feel like you're getting into a stride and getting to where you want to be at this point in the season and facing Duchesne next week?
Yeah, tonight was the best game that we've played all year, both sides of the ball. Well, in every aspect, our special teams, both sides of the football, and that's what you want to be doing at this time of the year, especially when you have to face Duchesne. So we'll be excited. We'll get the kids ready, and we'll see what happens.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a great win tonight. That was a fun ball game. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you coming clear down
here. Oh,
yeah.
Wouldn't miss it. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, that's Coach Ashley Brown here on the postgame show. And congratulations again to Coach Brown and the Rich Rebels. A good win tonight, 41-13. That ended up being a bit of a blowout over the Kanab Cowboys, 41-13 on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard. This has been our postgame interview with Coach Ashley Brown. And up next on the postgame show, we'll talk with Tristan Argyle on the Rebel Sports Update. Once again, final score on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, 41-13. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Hunters, you could win a $3,000 gift certificate to Sports World by winning first place in the Big Buck contest. Sports World certificates for second and third place, too. Stop by Castle Rock Chevrolet for details. Before you head to the hills, have Castle Rock change your oil and give your vehicle a multi-point inspection. And when you're hunting for a new car or truck, then stock the lot at Castle Rock.
We're Castle Rock.
A $3,000 prize for first place, the Big Buck contest at Castle Rock Chevrolet. CastleRockChevy.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth or want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is endodontist Les Walker inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Welcome back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at kadqradio.com. It's time now for the Rebel Sports Update, and tonight we're going to visit with head cheer coach Tristan Argyle on the Rebel Sports Update. Well, Coach, thanks for joining me tonight.
Not a problem.
Tell me about what you have going on with the cheer squad this year.
Well, this year we have 10 girls, and they're for both seasons, and they just perform at all the halftimes of the football games, and they cheer at both the volleyball and football games.
And do you practice every day, and how intense does it get for you?
Yes, we practice every day, and sometimes it gets pretty intense. They have to work pretty hard.
Do you have a lot with experience from last year that were cheerleaders?
Yes, we do. We have 3 new girls this year. So, and then the other 7 are experienced from last year.
So what do you do as a coach for the cheerleading squad? There's not competition that you go to, is that correct?
That's right. We don't have any competitions for cheer.
So what does it look like for you on a daily basis? What do you practice? What do you do?
We practice stunts and tumbling and dances and cheers.
How much work did it take to put together the dance you did last week at homecoming? Was it the same thing for the football and volleyball games?
Yes, it was the same, and it took a lot of work. They pretty much went 24/7 on that dance for a whole week.
And do you do the choreography for it?
For that one I did. For most of the dances, most of the girls choreographed themselves.
Why did you do for that one, but they do the other one?
Well, that one they wanted a hip-hop dance, and usually theirs are cheer dances, so we did a hip-hop dance.
Do you do every football game, every volleyball match?
All of the home football games and volleyball games we do.
Are there any that you'll go on the road with the teams?
If there's states or semifinals, then we go to those ones.
And looking ahead, is it a lot of the same girls that you have out for cheerleading, or are those a lot of the same girls that are there for drill?
Yeah, it's all the exact same girls except for one.
And when does drill really get started?
That starts usually when basketball season starts, so about November.
And are there a lot of competitions you compete in?
We usually go to one competition and then a region and state.
Where's the competition that you usually do?
We've gone to Richfield before, and we've gone to Juan Diego, and this year we aren't sure yet. We'll have to just see what comes up.
Well, thanks for your time today, Coach.
Oh, well, thank you.
This has been the Rebel Sports Update, and a thank you to Rebel cheer coach Tristan Argyle for that interview here on the Postgame Show. Coming up, we'll take a look ahead at what's in store for our Rebels. Stay tuned to this Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel Football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQRadio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Hunters, you could win a $3,000 gift certificate to Sports World by winning first place in the Big Buck Contest. Sports World certificates for second and third place, too. Stop by Castle Rock Chevrolet for details. Before you head to the hills, have Castle Rock change your oil and give your vehicle a multi-point inspection. And when you're hunting for a new car or truck, then stock the lot at Castle Rock.
We're Castle Rock.
A $3,000 prize for first place, the Big Buck Contest at Castle Rock Chevrolet. CastleRockChevy.com.
Welcome back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel Football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQRadio.com. Rich Rebels with a 41-13 victory here at Kanab tonight on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard, and you're listening to the post-game show. Time to take a look ahead at what's happening in the coming days for the Rich Rebel sports teams, and for the football team, that is looking ahead to next Friday and the big one of the season. It's at Duchesne next Friday. It'll be another night game, so we'll have pregame at 6:20. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. next Friday night. Rebels at Duchesne. So don't miss that here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQRadio.com. Rich Rebel, Lady Rebel volleyball team was in action tonight at Cokeville. They lost in 4 sets, but they have a chance to bounce back tomorrow afternoon at Altamont. And it's at 10, 11:15, and 12:30. That's the freshman, JV, and then varsity teams. And we'll have the varsity match for you right here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQRadio.com. Tune in for the pregame at 12:10, and first serve is at 12:30. Now, next Friday, again, I mentioned Rebel football team is at Duchesne. Next Friday and Saturday, the Rebel volleyball team is at the 1A, 2A, 3A preview at Richfield. Rebels have won that tournament the last 2 years running, I believe, maybe 3 years. But they've had some good success at that tournament and will be at that tournament on Saturday. We'll have the football game here next Friday night as the Rebels play at Duchesne, and then we'll travel down to Richfield and bring you the action of the volleyball team at Richfield on Saturday. So you can tune in for that next Friday football volleyball on Saturday. That's coming up next week. Rich Rodeo Club is, again, they're off during all the month of October. They get back into it November 15th with the Dixie Six, and that's 6 rodeos in a row down in St. George over 3 consecutive weekends. So that's what the Rich Rodeo Club has coming up. As for coming up next week for the other Rebel teams and activities coming up in Rich County, Rich Middle School volleyball team is in action Thursday at hosting Star Valley. That's Thursday at 4 p.m. Friday, again, as I mentioned, Rich Rebel football at Duchesne, Rich Rebel volleyball at that Richfield 1A preview, that 1A, 2A, 3A tournament. And then Saturday, that continues. Rich Middle School volleyball is at Star Valley Saturday morning, and Rich Middle School football is at Pinedale. So that's what gets us, that updates us through the next week in Rich sports. Again, don't miss Rich Rebel football next Friday at Duchesne. It's a 7 p.m. game, so pregame at 6:20, kickoff at 7 o'clock, and then Saturday morning, we'll have Rich Rebel volleyball from Richfield. So that's coming up next week. That's a look ahead here at KADQ FM 98.3. Again, our final score on the Western Ag Credit scoreboard: Rebels win 41-13 over the Kanab Cowboys. This has been the Rebel Postgame Show, sports production and sports broadcast of Old West Media Incorporated and Cook Brothers Broadcasting. No portion of this production can be used or rebroadcast without express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated. Once again, our final score in tonight's Western Ag Credit scoreboard is 41-13. Rebels get the win, and they pick up their 4th consecutive victory. Join us next Friday night as the Rebels play at Duchesne. And that'll, again, a pregame at 6:20, kickoff at 7 o'clock. We'll be on the air with you at that time for our pregame show. So until then, go Rebels.
You've been listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM and watching online at KADQradio.com. Today's game has been brought to you by these Rebel supporting businesses and individuals: Cowboy Motor Company, save a horse, buy from Cowboy; Big O Tires, the team you trust; Castle Rock Chevrolet, we are Chevrolet; Wyoming Dental Specialists, Rocky Mountain Care, simply the best care. Today's pregame coaches show was brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company, Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. Kickoffs today were brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. First downs brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental, Dr. Sean Grohl. Turnover sponsor today was the station in Randolph, and today's scoreboard sponsor, You Win a Title. Thank you for listening to this Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM and online at KADQradio.com.